Now we move in for a chance for NAVI or Vitality to qualify for the major. Two names you would expect to be sure things for it, but it's still all to play for. We're back on the desk. I've got Blair, Prof still sticking around as well. And guys, this is a matchup that we love to get excited about. This is a matchup that has been very historical across the end of last year, but with different rosters.
Yeah, we haven't seen these two lineups play thus far. I think that's very exciting, obviously. And for Vitality heading into this tournament, we had a lot of question marks about them. We're like, have they found a catalyst? Have they had enough time to gel together and work together? And it looks like the answer is a tentative yes, I might say. A 14-16 loss to the best team in the world in the form of FaZe, beating Eternal Fire and Dignitas in a very convincing fashion. They look good. NAVI, yesterday, they were made to bleed, losing out to Heroic for the very first time. So if you look at the way these two teams have kind of had this run in the RMR, Vitality looking actually a little bit better.
Yeah, the trajectory is for Vitality upwards, for NAVI a bit downwards. I still feel like there's a gap between those two things, but maybe it's not as big as we imagine it right now. The talking point, we can't gloss over this. Simple versus ZywOo. I know ZywOo hasn't been super exciting this year, but these are the two best players in the world. We can't disregard that. That's always a holiday. What are you?
I can actually hear Yanko screaming. What about Nico?
What about Nico?
Yeah, probably screaming. Probably
what about Config? Probably as well. That's Kassad.
Okay, that's Kassad. Let's not get there.
Let's focus on the players we got.
Do you have something against ZywOo? Do you think he's bad? Do you think he's not going to drop like 30 kills per map?
I just don't think currently, within this system, he's working all that good. But I know a man that is, and well, he's on NAVI.
Okay. No, we can talk about
We're looking at this anyway, so we're not going to the intro. But we'll look at the results anyway of the last few months.
I wanted to talk about this result, right? This is obviously the roster of Vitality before they added in the Danes. And these are all three on LAN. You're talking about the Blast World Finals, Blast Fall Finals, and the group stage matchup, in which NAVI have had Vitality's number every single time. And unfortunately, it did come down to the two people we're talking about, Banks, Simple and ZywOo. And Simple went... For these three series, he won 1.44, 1.49, and a 1.50 rating, in which actually Electronic was even better than Simple. So they've been very dominant.
Yeah, I mean, even if you go like the whole year, 6-0 for NAVI in the series, and some of the games were close. You remember the best of 5 final, but that was Navi's time. That was Navi's era, and it should be continuing. But we know that NAVI is also going through a rough time, a lot of extenuating circumstances for the team right now, and you can see that it's affecting the team in some way. Like they are not continuing the trajectory they were on late last year, but they're still pretty amazing.
They are still pretty amazing, but this Vitality as well, they did surprise us, right? They put up a bigger performance than what we expected against FaZe overall. What are we making of where they're at right now? They're in the 2-1. This is a chance to do it, and this is a Vitality that we're still learning a lot about.
Yeah, for me, the most worrying thing was when we saw this new team kind of coalesce together, ZywOo really struggling, right? One of the best players in the world, but in this event, yes, it's been a very small sample size of 3 best-of-1s being played there, but he has had a 1.30 rating. But a surprise for me has been Dupree, right? Like, really, really delivering. Can he do that against this NAVI team? That is a big question for me.
People have been writing off almost Dupree. I felt like that was always weird. Like when you watch him play and when he is a team that is functional, that isn't Astralis changing 10 people in 3 months.
Yeah,
he is a pretty good player, and he plays some of these opening roles. He plays some anchoring roles, and these are not, he's not playing the star positions on every map.
Yeah.
So I think he has a lot of value still to bring. Do I expect him to drop 1.35 ratings? That's maybe a bit higher than I even expected, but he's definitely a player that we can't write off. The part about ZywOo is very interesting because it has to come back to the communication and to the style of the team. How are we playing? What are we doing? Even Apex in an interview with Fragbite, he said a very short comment, but he said that ZywOo was feeling lost in some of these rounds. He didn't know what his teammates were doing. And not in like, what are you doing? Are you an idiot? But it's like, what is going on in the map, and how do I use this knowledge to win the round, essentially? So yeah, that's a thing to keep an eye out for.
From what we've seen throughout the RMR so far, though, who are you giving an advantage to in just what you've seen in the overall performances? Not just the individual players, but the team right now. Because for me, I'd probably give the edge to Vitality.
I'm actually gonna. I like that. I like that, Banks, considering they're playing against NAVI of all teams. But I'm actually gonna stick with NAVI. It's a very similar matchup historically, like how we were talking about Heroic yesterday. We're like, this core of Heroic have never beaten NAVI until yesterday.
Yeah.
Similarly, not this Vitality, but Vitality as an org haven't been able to take down Na'Vi since they got bit. Not in one single game. So, right, again, if this Vitality team can do that with this current iteration of Na'Vi, it is going to be once more kind of breaking the mold, so to speak. So, if they do it, it's going to be massive for Vitality.
Well, let's take a look at the team that is not Vitality, but Na'Vi instead. Now, one thing we've definitely noticed, right, and no one can ignore it, is the fact that these players are now getting more frustrated at each other because the winning streak has stopped. You know, the dominant performance where everything was going well, when they could even drop maps and then come back and you not have a problem for them, is not quite there. Now, for me, the biggest thing here is how much did that heroic loss sting? Because we know over and over again, Na'Vi felt like they always had the number, even though they're supposed to be the team that could have challenged them.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, take it.
HB for beauty.
Oh, you're too... Look at
all right, fine. All right, jokes aside, I feel like Heroic, that loss was obviously a little bit of a shocker, right, for Na'Vi. And you could see in the body language as well. Obviously, as I mentioned earlier, Prof, there are other circumstances surrounding the team and whatnot. But for this Na'Vi heading into 2022, let's talk about how they've kind of had these deep runs, but they're not the Na'Vi from 2021. That is absolutely clear. But they're still the team who's going to make that very, very deep playoff run and still be a favorite no matter what the scenario is. But right now, losing out to Heroic this early on, especially the way they kind of, I have to be honest, it was a convincing loss on both those maps in Inferno and Nuke. There will be some worrying signs, and you can see Blade, this guy on the screen, he is going to be, in my opinion, the guy who has to kind of right the ship for the side of Na'Vi.
Yeah, I mean, even watching that game, it felt like, you know, Heroic had their number in terms of it almost felt like they knew everything Na'Vi was doing. And even when they lose a round, it would be like, okay, someone pulled off something incredible. Simple pulled off a 1v3. You know, Bit found an entry, or Electronic had a great round. It seemed like Heroic were a step ahead, and that's not really what we want to see from Na'Vi. Of course, this lineup has so much individual skill, and during their dominant round, that was also a forte of theirs. It wasn't only being, you know, tactically ahead of everyone, but it didn't really feel like they were, you know, trying to play catch-up in these games. So that's an interesting part. It's also nice to see the sheets come out and how much more detail there is on them compared to like the Quasar game early on. Had like 3 paragraphs, just like shoot heads and, you know, don't
There's only
lose.
so much you could do, you know.
But this is there is like a couple of pages here. So
in tiny font as well.
In tiny font. I don't know how you really need to drill on to pick up all of the details here.
Well, let's have a look at their opponent, not from the notes, but this lovely video. Now, this Vitality, right, we're giving them more time. You've got to think of a very different personality and how both teams approach CS. You know, when you put the Danish and the French sides together, then you look at the communication, all moving over to English. But I would say what we've seen from Vitality so far is a better-looking Vitality, which is why Na'Vi should be scared.
Yeah, absolutely. But this will be the real test. Now, they've already had the first test in the form of FaZe, and they were able to really pass it with flying colors, in my opinion. The best team in the world, pushing them all the way to 14-16, despite it being a loss. But against this Na'Vi lineup, here's the thing. Yesterday, we saw the chinks in Navi's armor. We know they have a couple of weaknesses, and I love the fact that the map Veto is coming out right now, because you can see it come into effect. Na'Vi banning out Nuke, because they know they've been struggling a little bit recently, and they know Heroic figured them out. They've gone for the Mirage pick. It's a comfort pick. Obviously, Vitality go with Inferno. It's a map they love. It's a map Na'Vi lost yesterday as well. So looking at this map Veto, I kind of feel like the pressure is actually on Na'Vi.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Inferno pick, that's been a map that Na'Vi has been struggling on a bit, maybe not even a bit. And then, yeah, coming on to that, Mirage, Vitality currently have a 0 win percent. Like, they lost 6 games, but their map pool coming into this tournament was looking so bad that you can't really draw anything out of it. They haven't played officials in quite some time, so they're going to be coming out with things from practice that we can't really judge on based on the latest officials.
And you have to touch upon the fact that for Navi, you look at the map pool, right? Inferno, Vitality, as we spoke about, are very comfortable on. Mirage is a map, Vitality, 14-16 to phase just a couple of days prior.
Yep.
So both these maps could potentially go the way of Vitality, and then head to the final decider. Navi now, Nuke, this stronghold, one of the best team on Nuke for a long period of time. They're banning it out. They're like, we'd rather play Dust 2 here against Vitality, who also love playing Dust 2. You look at his map pool, I'm going to actually slowly go the way of Vitality now.
Yeah, that was really weird. We need a better bit. We need a better electronic. It can't be just a simple show as it was this event. And yeah, and on the other side, ZywOo.
Just ZywOo, no one else. Okay, so it's ZywOo versus the world. It's ZywOo versus Na'Vi. But will Vitality be able to take Na'Vi down? We'll have to find out with Scrawny and Launders.
Yes, that's right. Scrawny and Launders to bring you guys through this one. It is going to be a banger. Vitality and Na'Vi for a spot at the major. And, of course, this weird old map pool where Nuke is very clearly being conceded. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think I disagree with the desk a little bit. Like, I think I think depending on your lens, you could look at this as like a good veto for Vitality. I'd say Na'Vi here by a pretty significant margin. I probably disagree with the odds a little bit too. I don't think it's like that favored, but I'd still favor Na'Vi a little bit overall. Dust 2, even though it's comfortable for both teams, is more comfortable for Na'Vi. So as much as we could say that Vitality can win the first two maps, I'd say technically you have better odds for Na'Vi on both. So let's see actually what happens. Obviously, like Prof just alluded to, a big problem right now is that outside of Simple, his team is actually playing really poorly, way below average. And that's to talk specifically about Bit and Electronic, who got his act together after the first series at the event, but in his second versus Heroic was not good. Basically performed well while his team lost at the very best, but not the same Electronic we're used to at this point. And Perfecto as well. I mean, yeah, no, needs to be a lot better from his teammates.
And while those woes are going on for Na'Vi, we get the likes of dupreeh standing right next to ZywOo.
Yeah.
That 14-16 loss on Mirage, it was the dupreeh and ZywOo show. So Prof can say only ZywOo, but dupreeh will have other things to say about it. We get this pop out from balcony, two players already down into the pit, and Magisk still lingers just above. Opening kill of this match, and the two that follow suit, but Electronic, he's got this little bit of a pillar. He two kill, a tap into ZywOo, that's a beautiful kill. But it's still the man advantage in the hands of Vitality. Electronic tries to just light some fireworks on the short side of A. A slow crawl from Apex to come and join Magisk, and Boomich is going to need to come in and start this match with the clutch. Now everybody knows where they're at, and a good flash pushes Boomich back.
Making sure they haven't crossed pit. Boomich hoping that they push him. Bomb is tucked in the middle of default. I'm not sure he has enough time to make this play safely, but doesn't feel comfortable wrapping around Arch. Here's the first duel. Oh, Apex. Well, he was in the open, right? He was in a position where Boomich wanted him to be, but he couldn't hit the shot. So Apex will clutch that out. And yeah, Prof at the end said ZywOo, but earlier in the segment did
Also
mention dupreeh.
Yep, sure.
And that is really important because you know, weird thing about 2021. Check out this shot, though.
Yeah,
check out this shot real quick.
Hold it.
One second. Let's just look at this peak. He's back. Okay, he's back. ZywOo has more help with dupreeh than Simple does with any of his other teammates at the moment.
Sure.
So I think that's one thing to be important. And also, you could say ZywOo has the better stats, but as far as I'm concerned, dupreeh's the guy to watch from these past matches.
Okay. Well, we'll keep eyes on him. dupreeh kicks this off. Long-range AK frag. ZywOo takes that front-running position and just continues this pressure through the boiler, through the apartments, through this buy-up from Na'Vi. Not the way you'd want to start the Force round.
Crazy that these two teams have not gone up against each other yet.
And that's the thing. This Vitality roster, this entire project, right? They were crafted and created to be world beaters, to be tournament champions. And at that time, it was to defeat the likes of Na'Vi. They've had to wait a long time before this project is properly tested for what its, I would say, #1 goal was.
Yeah, something I guess that New York fans don't know is just that, like, whenever there's a team in an era, all other roster changes happen because of that team.
Yes.
You know, when it was Astralis with dupreeh, Magisk, Device, Zip, and Glaive, every other team that made a roster move was simply to figure out a way to be better than Astralis, and that's what Na'Vi did to everyone else back in 2021. But I say back in 2021 because even just a couple months later, they are not the same anymore. But the roster changes have already happened. So that's what makes it even scarier for Na'Vi. As Vitality find the open site, comfortably go and get this bomb down. And we can move forward into the next round. Sure, Na'Vi will just hang on to these guns.
Easy does it.
Nice 3K on the pistol from Electronic, though.
Yeah.
You know, I
yeah.
mean,
Just a really nice, a nice showing very quickly early on to remind us, like, it's not very often we come into series with question marks hanging over Electronic's head.
yes.
And that is just the nature of the situation right now. He kind of shuts us all up for a moment,
He's perpetually top 5.
and now we have to wait to see what happens. Gun rounds soon to start for Na'Vi, but if they can save these 2 Deagles, Perfecto's got a nice belt of utility. I noticed in the pistol, Boomich, he had a smoke for that retake in the 1v2. He actually threw it down middle. He dropped that smoke just so, accepting his death and not giving it over. So if you're managing utility to that degree, I see you, Boomich.
True, yeah.
No freebies.
Signed up for the save. Okay. There's some calm now as we go into this following round. With a bigger investment from Na'Vi. The Banks brought it up, and there's just noticeable tilt on Na'Vi as well. Haven't seen Electronic get this mad ever. I mean, he's just like after their match versus FaZe, I think it was it FaZe? Oh, maybe Heroic. Nice shot, Simple. He just looked incredibly frustrated. The point was just like, what is going on? Even in situations where the map isn't over. Could be because of his individual level, maybe because of team stuff. Bit spotting Arch, and he doesn't die. Now he will. Simple will take the spot. His deagles are missed. Masuda with the 2 kills on the MAC-10. Rapid Suze. Electronic steps up to the plate.
Ooh. Boomich is not going to be able to get anything. So Electronic hangs on. Frag grenade on his feet, going to make it way harder. But they're taking their time here. Perfecto's just trying to serve up a distraction, but it is still the empty-handed pit play. Look at the damage here. This, considering it was just, those few saved weapons from the previous round, definitely worth hanging on to. Almost enough to stop Vitality in their tracks. But they'll get that 3-0.
Yeah, the deagle is doing great.
And the frustration from Electronic, it makes sense if it's after that Heroic loss, just because, that was your ticket, guaranteed Legend space.
It was both. It was like both series, every game basically that I saw him play. Besides the one map that he farmed on, it seemed like he was getting just really tilted at both. Maybe himself, maybe his team. It might have been a bit of projection in there just because he was having a rough game. But he's like the guy that looks kind of mad all the time, but never like
Sure.
yells,
3-0 for the T side of Vitality starts.
Yep.
But that last one, little asterisk on it. More damage than they would have liked. So look at this Deeg. Down goes Zywoo.
Any of these moments could go south. First rifle, no off-and play. We get the late deep smoke here inside of middle, but he knows that ult will be approached upon. And this balcony is getting used more and more these days on the lane setups. Of course, leaving a gap at the end of halls.
Yeah, problem.
But they, it's all about timings, and they're coming back to watch it.
This will be a close one. Still throwing some utility over. Electronic smokes ahead of him. He throws down the incendiary, but that's still 2 players past.
Oh my God.
Great spam damage. Nearly 2 frags as he just sprays into the routing of Vitality. Excellent hold from Bit to lock in 2 kills. These rifles working wonderfully for Navi's first gun round. Just dismantling Vitality. And like you said, it boils down to timing, and that timing came down to a T. Zywoo's still up, fully HP'd. Masuda in pit on 1/5 his health.
That was a demo spray. I don't care. That was nuts how much damage was just dealt, but Electronic gets picked out of the middle of the site, and they still have pick control here for Masuda. Any mistakes could allow Vitality the leverage to actually make this round possible.
ZywOo now knows Perfecto inside that cubby.
One spotted. His gun's definitely sticking out.
That's
but
two.
He finds when he knows one's moto as well.
That's two. He's piecing this together, ZywOo. Flash from short as well. That's confirming numbers, and he uses this chance to get into the bomb site. Now Vitality have the post plant. Masuda can't really stop Simple from creeping his way up short, so ZywOo, he's going to give his back to Simple, and that should be the end of Vitality now. Masuda swings out into the open, and that is the end. But nicely done by ZywOo to just pull off 2 parts of the setup, giving them the bomb plant at the very least. Navi on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they did a great job of not getting overactive there, Masuda. Getting in the pit, not dying, finding a kill, and getting some info on where a number of those players were. But like that wedge play from Simple to get up into the hay cart and to catch him in the 2v3. Him being the loose piece in that situation. And so the bomb is nice here for Vitality, but for Navi, I think this was a demo round. Well, the way that they responded to the hall smoke and the way that their timings looked as they walked back towards pit, you could see they were very prepared for that kind of execute, and this is the first sign of that, right? Normally, you're not going to spam all your bullets into a smoke if you think that players can jump out into lane, because then you might as well have waited for a second, and he uses 90% of his mag, so feeling very confident about that specific pathing, which could get into Vitality's head a little bit. Okay, they've done their research, and it's paying off. I'm not sure, but I can't help but feel like Vitality not using their Hall's flash at the end of Halls was specifically to catch him off guard.
The mind games begin. Triple grenade into the sandbags. Not going to net them anything as Boomich is leaning a little bit further back, and Simple's already rotating towards B off of that showing of aggression. The utility, a warning of what is to come. All of Vitality to the tip of Banana.
They're risking this. Full utility. Flashes come out, but the mollies do too.
Boomich boosted. Easy vision into the back of Magic's head. Falls down. Apex pushing that as the flash is committed to from Boomich, trying to get these 2 players inside sight, primed for impact. Apex looking for the evacuation, gets back out through the doorway. Perfecto still has a little bit of smoke, but there's also fire towards his feet. He is locked into this corner, an empty gun, and Dupree's not able to finish it on his own. Now we've just got 2 Vitality players stranded within this pit. Bit rotates. Electronic right beside him, and Simple being a nuisance on Coffins, but there's that trade right back. And ZywOo is working wonderfully so far this series. 5-3. Another moment where he's given a chance, a bit of timing, to pull this one apart, to piece it all together.
Oh my god. I mean,
he has a way to leave.
Yeah, he does have a way to leave, but we're crossing the 20-second mark. And now I don't think he's going to commit out. But he didn't find the 1 kill that he'd like to get. So now he's got to hope that they let him have the plant. And as we cross the 10-second mark, there's very little chance of that. So Electronic will start to walk out and now run.
Done.
And, oh, the bomb gets planted. That's money here for Vitality. Still want to say Navi look incredibly well prepared. Look how fast that rotation was over to the B site. And they had everything in place ready for an early contact explode. 1 single flash on the play from Vitality. Incendiary comes out, the boost in CT is there, and they have a 3rd guy ready for that. Vitality, once again, are getting red.
That's what 2 pages of notes will do for you. Navi showing us that they've already got answers. And there's a moment in there where if ZywOo's gun doesn't go empty, that maybe that Orange's player dies, and then Dupree doesn't get barrel stuffed up close. That could have been then rolled into a turning point, but it's not the way it unfolds. Navi going to close that gap pretty quickly. First tack pause called of this series. Vitality still leading by 1, but they've got to piece together this purchase.
Even 1 piece of utility can make the difference between a rotation and a team not realizing what's coming. So they probably are taking some time to think about what it is exactly that they should change. And on the fly, of course, you know, you could have the same exact execute, but once you figure out what it is that's giving you away, you change that, and suddenly Navi will look totally unprepared, you know, versus the same exact thing. So they can adjust, of course. Very smart team, tons of veterans on Vitality, and Zonic at the helm. I'm sure they'll be able to figure something out.
Devil's in the details.
Maybe they haven't played against NAVI together, but individually, all 5 of these players have so much experience versus this roster.
Which is why they all came together to defeat them. Here today, their very first chance. Vitality, no. Navi recently wounded with that loss versus Heroic. Could have been Navi locking in Legends instead. They'll still have their chance. Ollie top banana, Magis gonna go, pushing with a teammate just behind him around the fire. So definitely looking for a face here on this B site.
Wow, what a great risk here actually, with Hall's control as well. So yeah, they haven't taken top bracket control, but they've left things open at a minute.
They leave Magisk in the cubby.
This is when it's easiest to get the CTs to get rid of some grenades early on. Now they'll work on top bracket. Not much damage here versus the T side.
Electronic posted up on balcony, but they're about to challenge Simple. And
Man,
his eyes
they could split towards B actually, and it looks like they might.
would be a wonderful call. See an Incendiary go down on the front of the B site for the moment. 25 seconds.
Simple's half ready for this on that side of Library, and look, he's actually rotating over kind of towards B. The one
Just as they come
coming
around.
back, but they're actually
15 seconds.
Oh my God, they're getting into Arch.
Electronic dives down into the pit. Bit on site, traded out by ZywOo. There's the hit from behind. Simple serving up some damage, but there's no time for the bomb plant, and Vitality play the clock to their own demise.
Wow.
Dude, up until 25 seconds, I still don't know if we're splitting B or A.
Yeah, I didn't either. I mean, clearly, yeah, they were a little confused. They might have changed right at the last moment, but as soon as that one player from mid went back to banana, it felt surely indicative of a B split through CT spawn, and for whatever reason, they got worried about it. But from what we could see, there was not actually a really good sign for why.
Molotov on B site?
It could have been a late molly on B site, but the thing is that your CT players don't really care about that. The real issue maybe is that they ran out of time to actually make it through Speedway, and so could have executed too late. Now that's the one of the very few times. Oh man, another punish. The one gun, I think. Of,
yeah, the only AK is
the
gone
round,
already.
Okay. Yeah, so the one thing is that most of the time I always say around the 30-second mark, you need to go for the execute. For the CT split, you need like an extra 5-10 seconds. So maybe they felt insecure coming towards the 30-second mark. If it was going to be just an A hit, they would have been fine. And maybe that's why they changed up, but hard to say for sure.
And I feel like they didn't even have all the pieces they needed to end up A. Like Library wasn't even smoked there.
Yes, yeah, they were improvising.
A real
sense.
sense of panic.
Yes, they got a little worried. And hey, after the last 2 rounds, I'd be worried too.
Sure.
Because Navi have been able to tell what they're going to do, and as long as they're confused about that, that's when you're going to make even more mistakes.
Right. Yeah.
So that might be a sign that they haven't figured out why.
They got outplayed on A, they got outplayed on B, and then they outplayed themselves in that third one.
Yes.
So 3 separate issues for Vitality lead to 3 separate round wins on Navi's favor. We're all tied up. ZywOo gets his hands on Magisk's AK, unarmored, as the entirety of Vitality are just looking to face into this B site, and Boomich is going to have a field day with the A1S spray. USP taps, not enough to drop Apex. That's the only success so far, and Dupree will be tagged by Simple as he tries to cross no smoke. It is Navi, 4 in a row, and right into the lead.
And there's a rare situation where 2 or more don't die, and Vitality don't get a bomb plant for the last 2, so these 2 last rounds. Okay, the investment will come through. One of the biggest boons to Vitality C-side is ZywOo's just very comfort with the rifle. He loves rifling, and Inferno T-sides aren't really welcome to oppers as much, so that should help. But right now, this doesn't really feel as much of a problem of entries as it does of game plan. I think that's where we're just loading a ton of points into Navi. And there's no reason they shouldn't keep growing stronger.
Starting to play a bit faster here. 4-man cohort already facing this arch smoke.
Oh, Bomb is back on steps.
Bit locks into Moto. Perfecto's here with the flashbang. Bit's going to be flashed into this peak. Oh, he doesn't really commit to it. A player gets into the arch side. Dupree finds that quick headshot. And the CT player is not comfortable here. Perfecto knows that he could be under siege. We do have a push down B, however.
Yeah, they have logs. Bomb is going to check it, but the kills are coming for Vitality, and they've opened up a line into B. And look what's going to happen with Boomich. I mean, now he has to worry about CT spawn and this mid push, and more CTs are dying, but the bomb was at the bottom of middle.
He finds the one player.
They've got a lane player. Oh, and Simple goes down.
That's a big one. If ZywOo falls to Simple peeking that properly, suddenly it's a massive issue. Boomich just going to sit atop this bomb. Nice damage, all things considered. Amali's going to force him into this fight, and he's not able to best ZywOo. Vitality tie us back up at 4. Finding Magisk with just that Tech 9 could have been massive, but the ZywOo Simple fight short A, I feel like that's what really decides the outcome of the round.
Damn. Okay, I think the best part right here for Vitality is, like, even when they are getting red, they're at least getting like 1 or 2 kills. Like, they're looking competitive. They're winning a lot of fights, and in this situation, they didn't have the best buy in the world. They go for fast top mid control. That's open to them, and as they spread out, they're just all in such hard to read positions, I guess, that they feel comfortable about taking their next fight, and they just win like 3 in a row. So, you know, as much as Navi could have been prepared for that with a bottom B push and a CT guy that was falling back, with all those guys dying in the middle of the map, really hard to distill that situation and figure out a way back in. So, you know, with that, they'll get a buy out of Navi and basically suck their bank accounts dry as well. There'll be an MP9 here on Bit, who has no nades to pair with it.
Tight match so far.
It is. Yeah, definitely, you know, this is a really great situation, I think, from the viewer perspective, because, again, great game plan from Navi, but firepower is there for Vitality. It seems like everyone's actually playing a lot better than we've seen so far overall at the event.
This would be the game to do it. No more best of ones, no more need for warm-ups. Possibility of legends on the line. Exchange of incendiaries, frag comes over, and again, Boomich not playing behind sandbags. I feel like he's been there less and less as of late, especially in this one. Apex gonna take the helm of this B play, met by smoke. He'll have to hold on. Oh, Boomich
Is one way.
Yep, good gap for that. Magisk dies, and Perfecto finds Apex on the other end of it. They thought they had 2 players locked in, and instead they have 2 players down. Simple hanging up above. Fires some shots at Masuda and gives up the position, falling into the A site instead. No reason to throw away a 5v3.
You know, this is still doable if Navi are scared of middle. We saw that late timing on bracket control, and that's kept 3 CTs on that site. So, hey, you look at this, 3v2 on the B site right now.
Get a clear puncture through this B hold.
Grenades are extremely low for the CT side.
Just hang on. They're smoked back. Boomich trying to prime Perfecto. Flash ahead of him. Boomich's spray is not going to find anything. Finally, Vitality start to round these corners. Perfecto goes for the pit peek. That's that rotator flashbang, and Boomich instead locks in 2. ZywOo sees the player on pillar, but he gets attacked from the back, and Navi have done it. Back into the lead, they'll go.
Damn, well handled. That was definitely the right play there from Vitality at the end of the round, but ultimately Navi winning with their B players, those first 2 kills. That's where their odds drop dramatically. It's this one way from Boomich as well.
2 victims on that one smoke.
Yeah. And they needed that kind of value because they came into the round with 2 players with 1 smoke in total. I mean, they didn't even have enough flashes to let that one go on too long. But also smartly, they kept most of their utility on the B side.
Look at that pile.
Yeah.
Got a treasure trove of utility.
Can really never have too many nades on that B side.
Vitality doing a good job of kind of sprinkling these attacks back and forth between the sites, and it looks like Apartments is their point of contact here in round number 10. Simple on short, though. Excellent flash. He doesn't die. He falls into the cover. He's just trying to best that one AK. He dies out to Dupree.
That was a crazy, crazy spray.
AK could be passed to either of the other armored players.
Yeah, Bit wants to grab it, but he also wants to be careful.
Matt just takes it over instead. It's his turn at bat. Bit will recover Simple's gun.
Doesn't reload just yet. Have to fall back. They could try to retake middle in this position. Instead, they're gambling. And by gambling, I mean simply not over-rotating towards B. They're just trusting Boomich to go for the hold. And it looks like it's the right call.
Perfecto, easy first one. Bomb thrown open. Oh, just these pistol players dying to Perfecto makes this way too easy. Magic's not able to do anything with the rifle either, so step by step, Perfecto locks this one in. His 3 kills alone brings Boomich over from the B site, and Apex is done for. All things considered, that is an excellent round from Navi.
Yeah, super solid. They were right about that. Good flash timing from Electronic after Perfecto took the first one, flash help for the second, repeak for the third. And now there's a tiny lead here in the first half.
A little bit of comfort here for Navi, settling in.
An adjustment. ZywOo goes for the op.
Let's see it.
Simple will also have his.
All right, well timed.
Yeah.
The op battle begins.
Oh, this is the ZywOo pick, actually.
Oh, and Simple's here
This
as
is
well.
the classic. Yeah, that's the classic
go.
ZywOo pick.
Finds it, immediate clash of the oppers. Edge Vitality. Dupree watching over the fire. Bit will blast him away. And just like that, we're into the 4 versus 4 with a player tagged on each side of this. Boomich versus Apex, and Apex can't hang on. We get the fight between the oppers, the IGLs, trading blows. And ZywOo grabs bomb as we do have this leak of Vitality players on both sides of the A site. Magic's going to win his fight on short. That immediately draws Bit back in. And remember, he's low, but he still had, for a moment, a chance. Magic reacts fast enough to slap him down. Musuda going to lock in CT spawn. Vitality respond with a 5th.
What a big move from Magisk on those 2 frags entering the B site. And I think they might have got info that one had snuck over towards B. That was Perfecto leaving his arch position. That's crazy. It started off with, and now I want to know if well, ZywOo definitely had a spawn, and that's also maybe why he bought the op, simply to win this one round, which they can of course carry forward. There just aren't that many opening duels that you will have on Inferno for the T side to justify going for it every round. People really aren't swinging car at this level.
And this level has been very high.
Very
this
high.
Is an awesome game of CS.
Yeah, absolutely.
It feels like 11 rounds of chess so far.
You know, it's like the highest level of CS when it's basically mind games every time.
Yep.
Where it's the aim is insane, but it's not always coming down to that. This situation did. Bit could have actually saved it if not for that unbelievable accuracy by Magisk on the spray. Very few saves in this match as well. Everybody's had money for the most part.
Oh, big nade. That's huge. But Magisk, oh, he almost finds Boomich in the corner. Bit comes in and helps.
How does Boomich stay alive after all of that?
That's wild. 4 health as he just holds his arm above his eyes and hangs on for dear life. Regains vision and gets bailed out of that second fight by Bit. Very quick answer. 5v3 right out of the gate, and Simple's going to rock Masuda's world. We've got this close balcony play from Dupree, perhaps.
They just knew right away, like, okay, all we have to do, we can press up on mid, smoke the end of halls. Everything's desperate at this point for Vitality.
Just as quick as ZywOo found Simple in the last round, they get 2 kills on the top of Banana here, Navi. That nade?
Yeah.
Perfectly placed. ZywOo gonna walk contact B site. He will find Simple holding this angle. 2 individual prongs on both sides of the map. Electronic thinking about going for this peak, but doesn't want to give it away. ZywOo will walk into his death, offering over the bomb as well. So that is a save for Dupree and a 7th for Navi.
Yeah, all Dupree does there is try to draw attention for ZywOo so
He's
he
dead.
can find some space. Well, you're right.
Eventually.
Someone died, yeah.
He's dead. Bit is going to finish it off. That's the old AK versus M4 situation for Dupree.
That's pretty solid. You know, a situation like that, you don't want to be like, oh, Navi are geniuses because they needed down Banana. That's just going to happen sometimes.
Yep.
Vitality just wanted to call out a situation where they might play a little slower, and they were kind of wrong about it, but they still got Boomich blind.
Yep.
On the half wall, who actually, I think did he get hit by Bit's flash? That could be slightly incorrect. It could have been 2 flashes. He could have turned from bit slash, but the kill feed says it's bit. But they obviously also flashed while they were rushing. Talking about rushing, here we are running up the alts.
Should be a moment for Navi to gain some breathing room, but a great flash is going to push Simple all the way into the arches. Quick move from Electronic. And his spray nearly chops down a second. Magisk axed down by Simple. The fight towards Banana also goes the way of Navi, and this is going swimmingly. There's tons of damage being done to Vitality, but not one kill here in the 14th round. Means Navi extend this lead to 3 for the first time in this half.
Both these teams have a chip on their shoulder, I think, from the RMR so far, and having to play against each other. I think it's providing the best entertainment, probably the highest amount of emotions, and just the maximum level of preparation, right? I mean, I don't think either one feel comfortable and secure in who they are at the moment. You know, Vitality's recent form, of course, hasn't been good as well. You know, RMR is actually kind of an exception, I should say, because they've lost a lot of matches. And as much as we talk about Navi being off, for the most part, they're still winning the majority of their games.
Oh, dupreeh gives it back to Electronic. Again, opening kills slipping the way of Navi round after round. Oh, Boomage, solid. I feel like we haven't seen him on the sandbags all half.
That's crazy.
Sits on top of it, gets the double.
That's, yeah, what the hell?
Right? He's been dodging all and so much utility. I mean, they even did triple nades once sandbags and did 0 damage on Boomage.
He hasn't been on sandbags every round. That's how you know we got a new Navi.
Felt maybe like he was going to be prepared for and overly zoned. So he changes up the game. And what a change it is. 16 and 6.
Yeah, he's had a bonkers half.
Boomage be bonkers. Smokes come over.
They're getting worked in their defaults over and over again.
Oh, Perfecto finds Masuda sleeping. And ZywOo in a 1v5 has to stare at the wall, a bullet to the back of the head as Perfecto continues to succeed alongside Navi. 9 rounds now on this CT half.
Full credit for the B holds. Honestly, a lot of cameos, right? With Bit, with Simple. A tactful use of the sandbags, but not an overuse like we've seen in the past. And like you mentioned, those targeted grenades, we saw them very early on. Boomage was nowhere to be found. And I think that's such a salient thing to bring up because that's where he's had his trademark on the map, and he's saving it for the end of the half when they're last, or at least expecting it. Another 3-player setup. Potential for a Coffin's flash here with Boomage peeking. And it looks like he's being the right amount of aggressive now. Oh, okay. And just as I say that, they boost up over the half wall, catch him out of position a little bit. Switch to the AK. And it's sort of a half buy, even though it's the last round of the half.
Oh.
Whoa, what cover!
I need to know who got that.
That was, well, Magisk, but
Where,
insane
man?
cover.
He's got a barrel pressed against his head. Hostage saved. And right now, bombs planted. Simple, going to be ended as Vitality will at least nab a 6th, a much quicker tempo. Straight pack mentality from Vitality as they just run into that B site and find at least a 6th.
No Boomage, no B-hold.
No Boomage, no B-hold.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely one of the better halves that we've seen out of him. Really, really strong performance, and between him and Perfecto, and the little bit of help they got throughout those rounds sprinkled in, you could see why Vitality had so much trouble.
Perfecto ending the half with an 87% KAST, so just all over everything.
For the layman, he was always doing something important.
Yes, kills, assists, saves, or trades. And I like the way you put that, cameos from Navi, right? A lot of moving pieces. Everybody kind of getting a...
Sometimes Bit starting B, sometimes Simple, but not all the time.
Everybody in flux for Navi. 3-round lead as they kick off this T side. dupreeh's Berettas at the top of oranges. ZywOo's Berettas in apartments. 5 players, 7 guns on the French side.
They've got halls pretty well guarded. They're still chilling, though. They're not setting up to fully exec right now. Simple would be on the other side of mid. They're just going to wait. I don't know if he's lurking on this, but
Now, we had clear indicators on Navi's CT side that they were prepped for the Vitality offense. I'm really curious if we're going to get that
Arch.
same thing from the French.
are they going CT?
Yeah, they're running, jumping, just hopping all over the
They might
place.
go back to A though, yeah.
Oh, Magus can't manage to get that second one. Bomb confirmed inside CT spawn. Zywu's going to think about going aggressive, but Boomich is locking him in. And now Zywu's a little bit distracted, but luckily he has Pit still being held, so good coverage here from Apex, you'd assume. The big Boom gets around the hay cart. He's kind of being given a chance to work this. Apex is not going to get anything, and
Holy
the
hell.
A-site falls with 0 frags.
That is sick.
They just squeezed it.
That was such a sick pistol. Oh my god. Bro, you know it's good when you're looking at the map and you can see all 10 players and you still can't tell what's coming. They had Simple waiting at the steps for a lurk. That pistol round had so many things in place to follow frags that they kept their options open to both split CT through B if the B push came down towards Simple, or continue with the wrap split to A if they had seen nothing in CT spawn.
That was no coverage, bro.
Oh my god, he flicked.
That's why I was frazzled. Look at that. Thank you, replay.
Jesus Christ. What the hell?
I got my own back.
Anyways, Zywoo was pushing mid, and Zywoo was actually really smart to walk because there was a player right around the corner. And when he fell back to the site, that wrap came, and they basically were able to change that in the middle of the round, and it would have still been a really, really strong adjustment. But it's there's no telling what they call that a spawn. I think with the play like that, that just covered so many things.
Bison? I thought we got past this. Simple looking for the unarmored targets, but Dupree could actually serve up an issue. He can just get here fast enough. Smoke grenade's gonna buy a good bit of time. Dupree now on CT cross. Smoke soon to fade. And they're just gonna try to flash pop it. Magisk actually kills Simple. Zywoo also offers us a dig, and now these Ts were supposed to be sent reeling backwards. Instead, Perfecto gonna hold that ground and deal with the Rifleman. Then they double back.
Yeah. Oh, and it's a boost on quad, so I mean they could hear him running 100%. Apex only has a scout inside of the pit. He gets a tag off. Boomich
That'll
down
help.
low.
Oh, finishes Perfecto, but the pistol's not quite enough. 30 HP for Boomich's 1v3. The top fragger of the server. Looking to add a clutch to the repertoire.
Magisk is extremely low here.
Only 9 bullets in the magazine, though. That could serve up an awkward situation in the middle of it. But
Are we
like you
looking
said,
at no armor?
Magisk low.
Or they have Magisk on half armor?
Yeah, and Zywoo has nothing. So, I mean, he could get shredded by this SMG.
Timing.
It's going to have to be that perfect pinch. The gun's empty. Glock is out. Magisk's ooh, at risk, but holds on. And Vitality's force will work.
Damn.
Not off of the back of that FAMAS. Not really off of the back of the Scout, although some impact there to set up that final kill. It's really those 2 deagles on B site.
Yeah, it all helped for sure. We saw how
Pounded Navi
close
back.
Boomich got right there, yeah. Damn. Damn. Okay, well that at least makes the game competitive now. We'll see what the CT side is all about.
Definitely a sigh of relief for Vitality to get that one.
The clear best decision here for Navi is just to even out the money. No reason to... I mean, actually, if the money was a little different, they might think about forcing into it just because of the amount that Vitality are going to have to buy up. So I think it's Navi's best interest to play a very slow round if they're going to go deagles, because every single kill can be huge. Each of the Vitality players down to 0 except for Apex. There's a little extra money in the pocket. Not much, though. Logically, even if you put the minimal amount of pressure in a round like this, the later into the round, the easier it's going to be for you to find dry duels, one-on-one with the Eagles. A little bit of pressure, and they'll draw out more utility, but even if Vitality don't see anything, they'll start using some, at least.
Footsteps out mid. Oh, ZywOo well timed, but Electronic did just kill Magisk on Arch, so that pulls one of the two A players back over. And then they make short, I was going to say the intended target. Show some nades. Masuda, he's pushing up close, and that's going to put him within that lethal range of the pistols. Perfecto's Deagle. Oh, it looked like that was going to crack open the B site. Instead, it's Apex with the 3K A1S spray down to keep 3 up for Vitality and to close that lead to a measly 2 rounds.
He totally saves it. He totally saves it with that one spray.
And of course, he had like Masuda in front of him as well, so it's like, oh, I don't want to
Didn't
shoot you in
wanna
the
shoot
back,
him,
bro,
yeah.
but get out of my way. This is a tough spot, and Apex stands up. Vitality's defense surviving the test so far. All the CT frag grenades thrown, and it's only the one towards Banana that does a bit.
Oh, they're aggroing. Oh, and they get punished. That's Masuda going down.
Simple so ready. Just walks around the corner dry. Apex throws a smoke up as the second CT gets in. We do also have Magisk coming over through CT spawn.
This banana smoke with a gap on the right side is so key. Every time you try to cross to the right and get in the cubby, you can't do that safely now. So CT's little bit on the right there, just to make sure.
Oh, they're gonna aggress this with 3 players.
Gonna go clear this up. Perfecto's waiting. I mean, they have 2 on the corner.
Oh.
That's 3 spotted, however. So they turn back towards A.
Yeah, they're gonna run right into Dupree, and he's playing ahead of the smoke. Cuts off Bit, isn't able to double down onto Boomich. Very nice trade with the Galil to give us this 2v2, and Vitality wasted no time rotating over. Electronic inside sight. Boomich trying to clamber up into the apartments, and he will be able to get there.
Uh-oh.
Electronic pressed so close to the smoke. Molotov down, but this spot... Oh, no, it spreads, and that's going to be the end of him. ZywOo finds enough fire to Electronic's feet to push Boomich into the 1v2 clutch, looking for his 20th and 21st kill, and he gets that first one, knows he's under pressure, falls all the way back, and he's going to play that time to a T. Boomich is a beast tonight.
Wow, he's on one. Finally grabs that 1v2 as well, and the first move is the most important. Taking the risk of getting up into halls, knowing that the last 2 rotators were spotted at the top of Banana. Took a small risk in knowing that they probably won't push through the Moto smoke. He has time to get up there, but that's, of course, the best spot to play a 1v2 from if the bomb is down in that regular position, and they don't know it. So, Boomich, he's aiming today. He's playing smart and cerebral, and it's paying off.
The real payoff is we've got Vitality back in just to the USPs. 1 P250 for Apex, and a real open door for NAVI to run away. Huge clutch.
Yeah, he was so in tune
Huge
with that. He
clutch.
could have actually also run towards lane, and it would have been right. I think he would have made it, no problem. All's pop now.
That's a good dink. Ooh. ZywOo USP frag. Okay. Goes back towards mid, softens up Simple. Considering USPs in a P250, Boomich and Electronic are low, but Simple's had enough of this. All right, he's not playing any games. Navi going to secure that 12th round win, a 4-round lead back in their pocket.
Oh, man. Feels like they're not going to waste this Boomich carry.
No. No, you don't. It happens every once in a while.
Yeah, it's not the, of course, when you got players like you do on Navi, it's not going to happen every day.
But obviously,
And when we talked about the core, didn't even mention Boomich because you know he's not one of the guys who is supposed to do a lot of the fragging compared to players like Bit and Electronic. But when he does, it certainly helps.
Yeah, you welcome it with open arms.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you know, talk about CT side Inferno, like, sorry, Banana. That's like where, I mean, a lot of kills are going to come. If you're part of the B hold, a lot of Navi's Inferno success will come down to Boomich and Perfecto, even though they might not be regarded as core.
ZywOo on the CT side at op. Utility's a little bit light here for Vitality. Oh, this is quick pressure. Oh, Masuda. Oh, no.
Apex's nade. Wait, how did that happen? I mean, they must have known that Masuda was going to wrap in front of the half wall on that exact tactic. Unless the nade hit him in the back, that's a huge mistake, man.
Oh.
That arch is totally open here. They know it's a 3B setup. Electronic knows this immediately. I don't even know how much he wants to rush this, but look at the timing that he has.
Magic's head, it's right
yeah,
there.
There's one of the graveyard.
Electronic doesn't see it.
He doesn't see it, but you know what? It might not even matter. He still knows there's two on the A site. That's just actually crazy. I mean, it was just floating there the entire time.
Magic's little round head.
Okay, I think he might now have seen. Maybe he didn't. The thing is, they could go back to look at Arch, so that's the risk for Electronic, and he has a full minute to wait. So it looks like they're going to try some Halls pressure. I think that makes more sense than lane. They still don't know Arch is wide open. This is a very blind round from Vitality.
Oh, this is weird. If ZywOo can land this shot, then it's
think
Boiler that becomes the problem, but nobody's going to be exposed to Electronic. ZywOo does land the first one, but as he retreats into the site, he's caught by Electronic. Magisk will take that fight,
really.
perfectly timed by Bit. Navi takes it. Hook, line, and sinker. They slice right through that A site. What a weird little situation
that was so crazy.
was,
His
man.
head just floating inside of the graveyard. But he didn't. That's why sometimes important just to not move at all. I mean, it really is like in nature, right? Where you don't want to give your opponent. I mean, if you're standing beside something still and you're moving, well, that's all they need to see. But
Electronic like a T-Rex, man. If it's not moving, then it's not there. Too funny. No laughing matter for Vitality, of course. Playing that round without much information. And then their heart just sinks as suddenly Navi swarm them on that A site.
the strange part is
Apex is...
Oh my god.
What? He's
going
gonna... What is that?
Was he just carving his name into the wall? Excuse me?
Simple's just dumbfounded, like,
Look at him. Oh my god. I would be so tilted. I don't know exactly what happened. He might have just been talking, thinking he had the save locked up. It just gets knifed.
He's checking his phone, you know?
I mean, that's $1,500 for Navi. That's $1,500. You can't deny that cash.
A quick stiletto to the throat.
He was actually just taking a stress break, it looked like. Oh.
Yeah.
You're about to go take a vacation, you just stub your toe in the door, you know?
All right, guys, these are all the things I'm going to do with this saved gun next round.
It's the face you make when you get 4 red lights in a row.
Ugh. Yeah, that one's going to sting.
Oh, man. 13-8. Knife kill on that last round. So 1 dies in the save. Only 1 gun for this one. Defending against 14.
What felt like a very close game at the start of this has suddenly started to turn into some real Navi dominance. Only 5 rounds out of the last 18 for Vitality. Only 2 of those won consecutively, so it's a very rare occurrence that Navi have had to play with pistols in their hands. Right now, it's just Dupree with the rifle, but oh, he was in a great spot to find that. Bit as sharp as ever. Not able to punish for that second CT that they knew was inside of Boiler. That, at the very least, is ZywOo to grab the A1S and get back into this bomb site. But at that point, Navi, they don't need to take some overzealous risk. They'll group back up. Bomb still on the bottom of ramp. Just pressing up close for a little more pressure, a little more information.
They're faking the B-split. It attracts attention of both CTs here. I don't know. Are they boosting over this? Yeah, they are. Interesting. With the gun. Maybe this works.
A little jiggle from Electronic, but yeah, didn't take that warning sign to heart. Goes right back and falls for it. We have this A1S still in a prime spot.
Yes, we do.
Pistols could still distract. 25 seconds left. The clock will serve as
They're
a
getting
pressure
scared.
situation. Apex, he runs outwards. He's a one and done in this moment.
They can't go back to B now.
Na'Vi, they're still just looking to hang on. ZywOo takes another duel, loses it to Boomich. Good deagle shot from Magis. Then the next player's low. Can't finish Boom just yet. Bit comes in from balcony, and that pushes Masuda to the 1v2 with a picked up AK from Electronics Corpse. But he doesn't have armor.
Not only do they need this, but it's possible. Yeah, they don't have armor. Oh, there was an opportunity. No bullet shot back from Bit. He doesn't want to risk it whatsoever. He doesn't care if he doesn't get the kill as long as he stays alive. That's some good prioritization from Bit. Could gave Masuda some tracers to shoot back at. Man, if Magis gets one more, we have a game on our hands.
Could have shot Boomich anywhere in the body.
They actually got really scared. That one tactic to go up on the boost behind Moto was almost the one that won the round. And I was actually going to call attention to the fact that we haven't seen that much ingenuity from Vitality here on the CT side.
Yeah.
Navi have been controlling the flow of all of these rounds. And to be fair, they've been doing an admirable job of just putting pressure on both sides of the map. It doesn't really feel like there are that many gaps, but Vitality have a lot of tactics. I think that's actually the thing about them that I normally would talk about the most. But they haven't really used their deep mid smoke to put pressure down. We've seen dupreeh make plays in alt, and Money hasn't been incredible, but it doesn't seem like the mood is either. I think that's when things can get a bit stale. Navi know they're in a power position. Really excellent game plan coming into this match so far. And not just a game plan, executed extremely well too. Everything from that second half pistol to some of those very early CT setups. I think Vitality have been outclassed today in that way. Still only map one, but a statement.
Rebounding very well from that loss versus Heroic so far. Boomich at the top of that list. 134 ADR coming into round 23. Huge numbers for the IGL. Perfecto going to be pressured by utility here. This is Vitality still trying to hang on to this close press on bottom ramp.
God damn. ZywOo eats that entire molly. He's down to 14 health on Banana.
They're so low.
It looks like they know it's a 3B setup again. dupreeh have one escape past him.
Easy first pickup. Oh, a triple from dupreeh as he lines up Bit and Boomich. Perfecto, remember, 18 health because of that smoke spam, comes at that fight and dies, and we have Simple in a 1v4 versus all wounded members. dupreeh gonna just stamp his name on this round and give Vitality more chances.
What a hold. I mean, a tiny change in elevation is all he needed there. Jumped up on top of the balcony, and that's it. Lined up the 3K spray down.
All right, Simple. Smooth moves. dupreeh, man, always good for a pit hold.
Yeah.
Always good for that A-site multi-kill. Not that either him or ZywOo, those two heaviest hitters of Vitality, have kind of given us this standout performance. Not the likes of Boomich.
Yeah, I mean, they might be great players, but they're on the worst team right now.
Yep. Well put. Still, that little bit of extra margin of error for Vitality coming out of round 23. Still trailing Navi by 5. But at least they're not playing against map point. Not yet. dupreeh, man of the round. 3 kills from the balcony. First one made easy by the fact that he's jumping, and then that quick little lineup.
And this one was as simple as...
elevation change. So smooth.
That was sick. Yeah, that was as simple as for Navi in seeing that as a 3B setup, immediately busting for top mid and wasting no time transposing into the lane hit. So there was tons of pressure on the 2 players alive, and we saw some heroics out of dupreeh.
Oh, another fast fight. Magisk almost snipping Perfecto's wings.
This counters out the fake pressure they put at the bottom of B, which will change Navi's situation slightly. At least maybe add some time to the clock. Tech 9 on for Boomich.
There's a save round on the line with this one too, so Vitality, they're not lost just yet.
Man, I can't believe Vitality are playing 3B this many times. They're leaving Arch open again to be spotted. And I feel like Navi don't want to believe it either. It seems like they might be trying to end in this way, which this could be really smart from Vitality. Uh-oh, knocked to the Tech 9. Opshot gets missed. Masuda, he gets 2 and he lives. And now, once again, 2 players spotted on Banana. But this is a situation where they've already got 2 kills, so it's a 3v4.
Separate 1v1s.
Yeah, they're coming in.
Apex, okay, big pickup there.
Oh, they get the pit player.
Yep.
Dupree goes down. Bomb wrapping around through halls. And Apex doesn't know that Electronic has already snuck onto the site.
Oh, he didn't see that. Comes at it. Electronic's going to give us a second here for Navi. And while they may have lost that Arch fight, Electronic saves the chances of winning this round. It's ZywOo and Masuda versus Electronic and Perfecto. And the CT side still has a smoke on Masuda. That could be used to cut off Electronic, who just looks to lock this in from pit. Perfecto's going to go all the way back into the site. Bomb is planted on the short side of the tall box, and that is big. ZywOo with a little bit of magic, but they need to figure out where Perfecto is at. It's Masuda currently holding a kit. Perfecto, oh, ZywOo, he can smell them as he gets that wallbang into pit and hunts him down backside.
He's on the spice. ZywOo is on the spice.
Cerebral.
Oh, it's a beautiful frag into the graveyard, or into the big pit. I'm glad Vitality won this because they won Banana. Their setup was correct. They read that Navi would come back into it, and it's obviously a really big risk for that late into the round to keep 3 Banana. But then when Boomich got his Tech 9 frag, things almost fell apart, and ZywOo missed his first duel as well. And Dupree dies over towards the pit.
This could be a fast one. They don't have that third player here. Masuda, he's stuck inside of the incendiary. They know about him.
Oh my god. They pressed up. I mean, Apex is here all alone. He's going to throw maybe a great grenade, but now he gets
so
blind. Can't even fall back.
Tech 9 spams the smoke. Apex is able to answer, but there's no damage here. Not enough, no kill. And all of a sudden, the T's, they just swarm this B bomb site. Apex, he's going to find Electronic right after that plant. We've got Boomich on top of boxes, and 2 T's setting the crossfire between Banana and Little Pit.
The second Oranges plant, what a risk. Coffin's wide open, but they block the cover.
Huge amounts of utility for the retake, so that smoke grenade's going to cut off half of what's left of Navi's post plant. Simple's on half health. No, he's not. Full HP with that AK. Pushes past the Molotov. Bit gets the headshot. ZywOo and Dupree somehow able to answer, but now Dupree, he's got 2 players splitting him down the middle, and he throws a smoke not atop the bomb. It is Navi with 5 map points.
God damn, they pulled that off.
They just crank the dial, run down Banana, smash the pit player out, and they take this one by storm.
Man, the counter utility was so good, and Perfecto won his duel with the Tech 9 taking over CT control, and that bomb going down on the other side of Fountain wasn't even corroborated to Dupree. He runs into the site. That's just the last place it gets planted, and the only reason they pulled that off is because they were totally aware of the Fountain covering Coffins, leaving it wide open. An interesting idea for Navi. Once again, really well executed. Well, that's how they're going to scoop it up, huh? And the last round, it was two alive for Vitality with ZywOo and I think Masuda rotating over from the B site to win versus Perfecto and Electronic. So it was already very expensive. But now to lose to just pistols.
Dire situation. That's Navi for you. Just a quick uppercut, sucker punch. And now they've got 5 map points. Gonna be a very tough recovery. Dude, we just talked about this, insistence from Vitality to play 3 on Banana. They move that piece back, and that's when the rush comes through. But that's really been the tail of the tape. Navi just kind of outplaying Vitality, right? If any moment we get like the right call for the right situation, it's been Navi's way. Vitality hanging on, but Navi a step ahead. 5 steps ahead at the moment. Nice peek from Apex. Sees that flood of utility coming over the top, and if the MP9 can kick this off, then maybe ZywOo's op can lock it in. Oh, and Masuda gets the back of Bit's head. A 5 versus 2 situation. This one not looking done just yet. A half health Simple, 3/4 HP for Perfecto. And they've got bodies to deal with here on this B site, but that could help. The first pull on the string, but Apex just jumping drive-by MP9. That's going to be Simple taken out of this one. Perfecto looking for the clutch, and as many clutches as he may have, this is not his. Vitality, 4 more chances.
Yeah, 4 to get to OT. Why don't we live in a world where that's entirely possible? I mean, yeah, they're fighting. They did that with a pistol. I mean, it was a great setup. They caught one in mid. They caught one on B. They used that up, and they kept their B players safe for the early round, which I think is the huge thing. I believe there are no money here for Navi. No money. Bit has some, but he's just going to hang on to it.
Magisk looking to just bully these unarmed opponents. 4 immediate kills in alt mid. I like it. Let's get it over with. Let's get this game back underway. ZywOo trades out Magisk, the only casualty here for the defense.
Yeah, we've got a real match now.
Rinse and repeat, let's get it.
Listen, it's one of 2 stories right now. If Vitality get to OT, then yeah, they were kind of every bit as good as Navi. But if that's not the situation, then you can't say that this was really close. It felt like Navi were in control basically every step of the game. So Vitality, their only kind of respectable result at this point is to cross this line and get to overtime and equalize with Navi. Come back on this T side versus this T side.
Vitality not looking too passive. Magisk thinking proactive, moves close to the apartment's entrance. Navi for the time being. Oh, I was gonna say just lean back.
Damn.
But Perfecto leans too far, slips. And a broken back. Oh, but there's still a chance at a recovery. Bit, that is so clean.
Man, that's both players on the hall set.
What?
You see them, running at this. But ZywOo hits a blinder.
God.
Beautiful shot on Electronic. So fast with it. And they shut down this hall's attack.
The goal to just run into Boiler goes
Bomb.
combat opping.
Bomb is left back in spawn. They're walking up to the top of Banana. Do they realize how fast they are? Simple kills Apex.
That's gonna help.
One of 2 players dying on the B site early.
Still 50 seconds to
Yeah.
squeeze the 3v3.
Vitality pause. They have not rotated off of the A site. Navi, how scared do they think they are? That's the question. This is a brave call for Vitality to make, but it looks like it might pay off.
One smoke to the B site for Coffins.
One in the graveyard right now.
Masuda just alone on B.
Dupree is hoping, crossing his fingers and toes, that they come out of halls in that situation. Op is here to protect him. 20 seconds. And if ZywOo makes first contact, you better believe Dupree is going to be forgotten about.
Just comes down to the crunch. Dupree doesn't kill the one in the air. Now they know about him, goes back at it, gets the bomb, stopped on top of balcony. There's just no time for Simple. And the setup, the 2A play works out.
Whew. What a call to make, man. That was brave. That was brave. They lost Apex on the B site. 3 players there at the top of Banana. That smoke goes down. And Vitality assume it will be respected.
And the target selection from Dupree. Tags up the guy flying down, comes back at it with the lower peak, ends Boomich on top of balcony. Vitality with some fight left in them. That fight from ZywOo.
So fast. So fast.
And an instant after Dupree drops that bomb, Simple's able to kill him. If that shot comes in half a second sooner, we're talking 3 players on site versus ZywOo with a bomb plant in Navi's back pocket and a highly probable 16th round win. Instead, they are sent back down into the problematic pistols. Simple, solo AK.
Yeah, it's feeling like a round 30 finish on map 1. Rotating over slowly. Hey, listen, Apex and Masuda have take turns dying here on the B site versus Pistols as well. They're taking a risk just by playing back right now. Smoke comes down, but you can tell Navi's intentions are quite clear. They're going to commit through this, and the rotations could not be
So
farther
far.
away. They could not be farther away.
This is it. It's got to be Apex. He wipes the sweat off of his hands, throws the smoke forward. Masuda will be locked out of this, and
No.
Apex is about to be tested. Boomich jumps into his death. Oh, Apex able to at least shave off that second, but Masuda is going to be on his own for a little bit longer.
Man, bomb goes down instantly. They're so incredibly slow right now. Masuda holding on to construction control, and all the Ts are in typical positions.
A boatload of utility for the retake.
But only one molly.
A banana flank added in. Simple, that front-running AK shaves off Masuda. He goes down with nothing, and Simple immediately turns his attention back to Banana. He's getting attacked, and Magisk finds that headshot.
They molly the wrong position. Quad is still alive.
They need to somehow unroot both these players. ZywOo looking for the target. Bit swings out. We've got a Magisk on the bomb. The stabs are there, and Navi's 16-13 with a solo rifle buy and another B-site burst.
Yeah, that's a map locked up. A couple of pistoling rounds here, one from NAVI, and they do it in such a chill way. They're not even too excited. They were looking for round 30 to make it happen. And for Vitality, almost everything was really good. They were fighting like animals to get to this point. But the problem was their B-site holds.
Yes.
Masuda and Apex made this too precarious. Either of them dying in almost every situation. And in that spot, you could see from how passive it was. They put tons of stock into themselves to make those kills come. And while Masuda stayed alive and Apex got 2, that wasn't enough.
Nope. Masuda instantly killed by Simple. That one AK pressing close coffins. That's the way she writes it, this one. B-site just not enough from Vitality, and now they have to take it to Mirage, a map that they have a 0% win rate on, but showed good things versus FaZe in that 14-16 loss. We'll see that one soon enough.
Thank you very much, Scrawny and Launders. You had to really point out the B site and poor Masuda and Apex. Sometimes it's also...
Launders was reaming them out there on the B side, and it wasn't just Launders, it was also Navi, so I guess that's kind of the day that we're having today.
I'm liking this Prof. Prof's, being a little bit more spicy. Maybe my bit of Vietnamese foe just had like half an hour back. But jokes aside, yeah, unfortunately for Vitality, the map pick... Look, I don't think anyone will fault them for picking this map against Navi, right? It's a map that they have struggled on historically recently, and then you talk about Vitality, they're very comfortable on it. A very, very close affair, but I feel like both Connor and Launders just kind of hit the nail on the head when they said that B defense, it was getting exploited time and time again. And again, for Navi CD side, I think they got 10 rounds in their first half over there. Yesterday, where they struggled was on that CD side against Heroic, so they've been able to fix a few of the problems they had.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say that Vitality City side is looking good because I feel like they have a lot of openings, especially on the A side, kind of different looks, re-aggressions, all of these things. But then the most basic rounds that Navi throw at them, these two B rounds that they threw,
Yep.
like it can't fall apart this easily. This is just like giving the game away. Like you put in all of this effort to have this like very cool, smart things, finding ways of like getting entries, setting up like trades and whatever, and then B Rush loses you the game.
All hail Lord Boomich, who we wouldn't have expected him. We also didn't talk about during the pre-match. Out of nowhere comes into this game and literally manhandles Vitality.
All hail the Boom, right? Boomich really stepping it up as an IGL as well, and I felt like he had some pretty good calls coming in individually as well. Obviously, when you have bloody Simple bit of electronic on that team, you're not going to be looking as Boomich to be the hard carry. Wasn't really a hard carry, had a really impactful first half as well.
Yeah.
He wasn't like he really stepped up in the latter half of that game. But I love the point he made right there. The final 2 rounds Navi won when they were 14, I think 14-6 or 14-8 or something. The last 2 rounds they won was that fast B hit. One of those rounds being only the pistols, the other one being one AK-47 and hands off. Well, it was simple, but still, right? So some flaws there for Vitality, but credit to Navi for exploiting that.
Now, Blair, you wanted to take a look at round 19, right? And
Yeah.
for many good reasons within this one.
Yeah, this is such a great round coming in from both the sides. You can take a look over here. We see Simple getting the opening towards Masuda and finding Vitality and finding that kill. And Vitality, they aggress towards Banana. They try to get back some map control. The trades are good, and now immediately Navi know there's only one defender on the A bomb side, and they smoke off the Molotov. They get the bomb planted. Now it's a 2v2, and then of course Boomich coming up clutch in the end.
Yeah, and there you can see like a lot of these cool things that Vitality is also trying to pull off. The Dupree, as the B aggression is coming out from the B defenders, Dupree is using utility in mid to push out a potential push there, and he pulls it off quite well. Goes for the reposition and leaves a smoke on site to kind of trick the the opposing team, if they're coming in, he's going to probably be in sight, but the timing just isn't there. Navi extinguished his molly, come in and just trade out and win the round. That's why I'm saying, like, this looks good. Looks really good from Vitality.
Yeah, like some great dynamic CD side. They weren't just content just sitting back at the bomb side. If they lose a player, they're looking to group up, reclaim a little bit of real estate, get that trade going. But also for Navi, right, they're able to immediately pivot back. They're just playing their fundamentals soundly. So overall, a great map of Counter-Strike on that particular map of Inferno. But as we said earlier, Vitality, the B defense was a bit of a problem.
Yeah, but you know what? There is something we can have some fun with here, right? Magisk was full swinging it with this little flick we have to show again, because it was something very impressive from the man. Now this, right? Sometimes you just get it, you just hit the button. Just what on earth?
That's actually such bullshit.
This is a backhand right there from Magisk. Oh,
What is this?
Bap!
He wasn't even looking at him, dude.
That's just pure instinct. Beautiful. I mean,
Well, I think he was even aiming for
I don't
like
think even
CT.
knew he got the kill.
I don't know, but we were watching it and we were like, was that Magisk? Was that really
Someone
him?
else?
Yeah, had to be someone else. Yeah, 9-6 half in the end. Vitality started strong, got a decent half, but yeah, the CT side can't be that easy. Just can't be that easy to hit the B bomb site and win rounds.
And especially now heading into Mirage for me, Banks. Like, look, I know, you know, we have seen Vitality have that very close series against FaZe, right? FaZe, best team in the world, one of the best teams in Mirage as well, 16-14 loss. But Navi, despite their trials and tribulations they've suffered thus far recently, Mirage is still their stronghold. It's the one map where they know they can flex on.
Yeah.
So for Vitality, I feel like even though initially I said all these three maps look pretty good for Vitality, I felt like Inferno had to be in their pocket.
Yeah. Especially, like, that is kind of a lackmus test for how good this team is. If they can win Inferno, how are they going to just be in these, like, 3v3s, 4v4s? And that's a part of this Mirage where I feel they're going to have a lot of trouble. Like, even Heroic yesterday, it seemed like they had the reads on Navi, but they still lost the rounds. And if Vitality is playing like this, like, they can't close out a 4v3 retake with all of the utility and weaponry advantage, I feel like they're not going to be able to handle Navi on Mirage.
Absolutely. And for Navi, I just about trying to figure out where this holds their potential weaknesses, like we saw the B bombs on an Inferno, and trust me, Navi, they will exploit it.
They will exploit any opportunities they can get, right? Because right now this is a Navi which is going back to the old way of doing things, right? It's not the same Navi where it was the full team performance in there. We are relying on just individuals to step up at times as they seem disjointed. I'm going to bring up those map win rates, right, and just see where we're at with this sort of road. Because when you're talking about Vitality, we're seeing improvements from the team overall, but there's worrying signs now they aren't able to take down Navi on this Inferno. But I will also give Vitality a bit of a caveat. They've not had easy opponents.
Absolutely, and you also got to bear in mind, if you look at these numbers as well, you're talking about the last 6 months, these are 2 iterations of Vitality, right? This new, like for Mirage, I mean, all these stats for Navi make sense. These are all big events in the past 6 months for Navi. These numbers make sense. For Vitality, as we said, they have had some pretty rough opposition. They've had some rough times of late. Honestly, for me, Vitality in this event is still a question mark. Which Vitality are we going to be seeing? The Vitality who dominated in the best of ones, who almost took down FaZe and Mirage? Or is it going to be the Vitality where we start to see the cracks appear where the pressure is on?
Yeah, definitely. The communication differences, the individuals maybe not showing up as much as they usually do. ZywOo we saw had a good game, but wasn't anything mind-blowing, right, from the young prodigy. Still the young prodigy. dupreeh and all of that, but it's about the team and the chemistry in these situations where it's not pre-planned. Which this is the thing that I have a feeling now with Vitality. They have these good openings and things that they can set up in advance, but then when it comes into the hectic kind of mid-rounding position, then that's where they kind of stumble.
I also kind of have to mention one last point would be for Vitality, and I don't like really pointing fingers at any individual. You're talking about a team where you
but
have...
you are going to do that, right?
But I'm going to do that. I am going to do that, though. You have the Danes coming in, obviously language barrier and everything to kind of rebuild this entire lineup, make it work. Misuta, at the end of that, kind of like, the dead team run Vitality had when it still had Shocks and Kyojin, he was looking fantastic. He was looking incredible. And right now, alongside, I wouldn't say alongside, everyone has had their moments. Apex, we've had Magisk really step up as well. dupreeh has been the best player in this tournament thus far, and ZywOo as well, ZywOo. But Misuta has been very, very quiet, and I don't know if it's about his individual performance or maybe his new role in the team, but some question marks for me for that young French lad.
Well, let's see if we can step it up going into map 2, right? Because that's what it's all important. But do we think there is a chance with Vitality? Are we basing it all off that phase game or what you've seen here? Does this show that Navi's just going to be the better team again?
I kind of feel I was still going to be favoring Navi, but I thought it was going to be a close series. If Vitality took Inferno, but Mirage, Navi, they've shown that they have no weakness there.
Yeah, I'll definitely lean towards Navi. I mean, we're leaning towards Navi since the start. As always, we kind of try to set it up. How can the underdog win, right? But after the Inferno game, leaning even more towards the Navi side.
Well, let's see if Navi will grab that 2-0 or if Vitality can push us to a third map. It will take all of their strength and maybe a better performance than we've seen ever from Vitality so far. We'll be finding out how it all goes down after the break.
To succeed in this game, you need to invest in yourself. Be daring. Innovate. Calculate. Never hesitate. Follow your instincts. Don't follow the crowd. Back yourself. Bank your wealth. Analyze, strategize, and galvanize. Now is the time. Take your shot.
Let's go. Battle is on. Burst RMR views with a double bonus. Get insurance for single and combo bets, both up to €20. Fire up with GGBet. GGBet, this is real.
Navi's recovery in full effect. This series moves to Mirage, and Vitality seem to certainly have their hands full today. It's not an elimination game if Vitality lose this, but of course that would be Navi locking in a spot at the Major as one of the highest seeds, which means probably a legend spot. A lot for them going into Mirage, and all they need to do is take what they did on this first map, rinse and repeat.
Yeah, and it's not an elimination game, but you know, every match can be. It can feel like that. You know, that Force Saw game, for example, I'm sure they both felt like it was an elimination game because it's not easy right now. The bracket has gone kind of crazy since Big beat FaZe yesterday, so you can't take anything for granted. This could be your opportunity, and or it could be the opportunity for the other team. You never know which will be the case. Now, we are looking at Vitality losing 6 Mirage games in a row, close losses. And the one upside for them, besides the close losses, is that they have played very good teams. Only. I think the worst team that they lost to on Mirage was ENCE, and they're obviously still very good, but we're talking FaZe twice, G2, Heroic, and Gambit, I think, were the others. So they basically have had a very hard go of it. But that doesn't recuse some of their players from their Mirage performances. And right now, ZywOo is the only one who's been good. Everybody else has struggled. And we know, of course, that from the Astralis core, all of them are playing Mirage now, but most of them are still struggling on it. And that means dupreeh and specifically Magisk need to find better form on this map. The very few successes that Vitality have had recently have come with at least dupreeh and ZywOo playing well. But yeah, also Masuda hasn't really fragged well on this map. Even Apex, who is actually going to be able to find like openings on maps like Nuke and be an important fragger on the map, doesn't do much on Mirage either. So they've got to break new ground here, because for basically out of the last 12 months, I think Navi have been the best Mirage team in the world.
And for somebody who hasn't been playing up to, that necessary caliber to win maps on Mirage, Apex is playing a really crucial role. You're going to see him constantly trying to challenge bottom connector, looking to be that mid guy to set up things, to stun and stunt on any type of plays from Navi. But I mean, if Navi are coming in on an individual level that Apex can't hang on to, that's just going to be, I think, at that point, a weakness within mid, and a weakness that Navi will certainly exploit.
We saw how they dealt with that specific pressure. Maybe we'll talk about it more in the match. But Navi knew how to shut down any mid plays. Electronic will jump into underpass sometimes, so will bit sometimes, depending on who has the better spawn. And that's become one of the best ways to counter any fast connector control. But we're going to have to see a layered attack. We're going to have to see some variety in the attacks. And yeah, I mean, they're going to have to play basically the game of their lives, I think, to be able to win this one. It's going to be tough. Any jitters that Navi had coming into this official, I think, are probably off with that result on Inferno. So pressure is on Vitality now.
dupreeh did have a standout game versus FaZe. We saw that as their one match. The shining moment for Vitality was nearly taking FaZe down on Mirage, but a 14-16 loss, gut-wrenching at the end. And that's where we had this contest, this head-to-head between ZywOo and dupreeh, who was going to finish with the most amount of frags. I think we need both of them to really come online in this one. Both of them going to be a quintessential piece of any potential Vitality success. And if that success doesn't come here with a victory over Navi, then we're looking at Vitality on the brink of elimination, missing out on the major, when this team was created and composed and formed for the sake of winning events. It was a huge undertaking. Never before seen a French and Danish fusion. And this wouldn't be a good example of it if they can't even make it to Antwerp.
Yeah, and it's possible. You know, Vitality have won 4 out of their last 12 series at this point. 2 of them being at the RMR, and that's why they are at this this match so far. But yeah, that's also, there's 2 best of ones out of those. Yeah, so it's dire, man. It's dire. It's weird. I think it's hard to reconcile a Vitality that you know has these players and also has these results, because they are not meeting themselves where they're supposed to.
This man on your screen was one of the key reasons that Inferno slipped the way of Navi. Big performance from boomich.
Yeah, I mean, that actually has to be noted. You're not going to get boomich carries every map or even every week. You know, that's not even a thing. So that was very lucky for Navi that he played that well, because that was a game that almost went full 30 rounds. But it is something you have to be prepared for. Apex is on the other side of that coin. He will once in a while have a really heavy carry. And it probably happens more often than boomich does.
Let's see what they can offer us here. Vitality looking to hang on in this series, looking to take it to Dust 2. Navi looking for a spot at the major after losing a confirmed Legends placing versus Heroic yesterday. A loss that stung so much, they vetoed Nuke and brought Dust 2 into this series. Will we get there? Time to find out. Vitality to the defense, and the ramp play comes through immediately. Electronic going to be passive as he waits. Smoke over the top, but the CTs see that this is pretty much dark. And even though Electronic gets surprised by that one, the fallback is still there. Bit looking to pressure up connector. Nothing happens just yet.
So yeah, window gets taken over from the T side, and you can see the CT reaction is to go back into a passive setup. They're still leaning towards A. I think this is the appropriate reaction, but dupreeh is well damaged.
Apex trying to get by that murder hole without being a problem.
It's ending A here. One coming out of the halls, looking for a timing. Electronic may have made noise. Is his time limited? Electronic gets traded.
Yeah, Magisk, clean kill on that one as he comes over top at the ticket booth. Bomb still at the base of connector, now going underpass.
They lost such a key player there. Electronic out of the halls was their only way to divide the attention on the CG side, so they're adjusting accordingly. Now this kind of turns into a lurk, and the bomb is a little bit slow, but also the first person showing at B.
Oh my God.
They're relying on this entry. If he doesn't get out of the halls, they're not even going to be able to plant. Yeah.
Simple, he has to come up from catwalk. but there's such little health for dupreeh. I mean, if he could just stop the bomb, then that's one thing. Boomich, with his back turned, a 180 into the bench. dupreeh just buying good time.
Oh my
The
God.
plant has to come through now. Great coverage. dupreeh is now all that's left over, and I mean, he just feels doomed with such little health.
Oh, he had to
Navi,
get that.
That was a tough one.
Oh, dupreeh had to get that. Oh, he
They're
had
able to fight their way out of a very sticky situation.
That was kind of free. That was kind of free. That was the crossfire on the site. Boomich got one half of it, but he had to spin around to get that.
Boomich had his back turned for a solid 3 seconds.
Yeah, that would have been hard to get that bomb down again. So Boomich count as lucky stars. Navi as a whole, I think, made an adjustment that didn't look that sexy. When they had lost Electronic up in halls, they clearly got very uncomfortable. I mean, they smartly made an adjustment to go to the other side. They still could have hit A, but sending the bomb alone through halls, the rest of Boomich's teammates kind of really taking their time. There was a number of ways that could have gone wrong.
dupreeh, a deagle kill. ZywOo burned into the open. And Simple, with open arms, accepts that push. Perfecto gonna peel another off of this A site, so maybe Magus can offer us something, but the scout player in Apex is dead. It's really just jungle. And it seems problematic for Vitality at this point. Simple, gonna keep it clean. Double headshot into the ticket players, and that is Navi with the 2-0.
Yeah. They don't want to think about that anymore, how awkward that first round was. They got a clean second once for the most part. No money here for Vitality. They can even go into Mac 10s off this, knowing that Vitality have no money. And they'll just instantly win mid with a fast window smoke, some pressure towards connector. Bomb left back, but they've already made progress, and they know that no one's jumped out.
We'll get dupreeh onto the boxes. No. Not able to hold on to that position. Simple very quickly, just going to move in. Clears out a bunch of corners. Squats the ladder room. Makes contact with that far pistol player. I like the re-aggression there from Masuda. Trying to catch Simple while he is rotating all around. I mean, he is such a pain point for Vitality on this one. Magisk, Mac 10 to the chest. And the dead body. ZywOo, nothing. 5 up here for Navi. That is an excellent 3-0.
Yeah, that's a money maker. They can even keep the Mac 10s completely viable depending on the tactic. This could obviously lead into a B-site hit if they want to, but there's a number of fast tactics on Mirage where you could have a Mac 10 and be good. Whether it's fast connector pressure, fast cat splits, or just ladder room control, or some kind of halls pop. But they don't even keep it. Oh, actually, they buy into the op. They get the Mac 10 out for an AK, and they go right into a default. And are looking to play it so simple with a spawn.
Ooh.
Oh my god, right into the brains of Masuda.
Later.
Damn.
B-site left with a hollow head.
That was an insane shot.
And if you thought guns were just going to, be a way to alleviate the pressure.
Bit has no one here at the top of middle. They're flashing on. Oh, they flashed.
No!
Oh, they flashed their teammate.
Apex lends Bit a helping hand.
Man.
Betrays Magisk with the flash.
You don't know who to blame, though. He might not have turned properly. Shot
Missed
gets
shot.
missed. Okay, and the CTs hit one back.
That's a door left ajar, but Boomich will still punish Apex, who just runs
just
right out through
runs.
the smoke. I didn't even see a flash with that.
I'm actually not sure why he just ran through that. There was Hall's pressure and A-ramp pressure, and this was a 3v3 for a second.
And your CTs were both rotating around a jungle. You would have been 3 players behind the smoke, ready to just push in and trade frag. dupreeh does still have his smoke, so
Boomich is out in the open.
yeah, this is, and it continues to be.
One smoke for the Halls, but
ZywOo and Simple both scoped up.
Simple went under Balk. Still worried about CT. ZywOo might clear him, but the position of Apex will be the one to counter the CTs and dupreeh. I think he just wants to try to grab this op if he can. We'll see if he can even save.
He lines him up, but Simple with another clean op headshot locks in a 4th consecutive for Navi. T-side starting well. A drop kick to start that off. Poor Masuda sent back to the Stone Age.
So a beautiful shot, and they found a timing to push into underpass, and Bit was incredibly vulnerable in that position in underpass, and they tried to flash him, But not only does he dodge the flash, Magisk, who's supposed to peek, eats it. That's just not the way you want to see that round go down. But even from there, Apex running through the jungle smoke with no flash. You know, that's a play where he felt like he was losing, but from our perspective, they didn't lose yet. Yikes.
Shots into the legs of Masuda, and look how stranded they are. boomich doesn't want to offer them the kill, but I mean, these two CTs, they still just have to fight this. They're stuck. dupree's trying to push upwards, and he actually gets away with this.
Yeah, he actually played that pretty scared.
Electronic falls down into the B site, dies to the deagle of ZywOo, who then quickly repositions and has dupreeh help in from Cat. That one M4 pushing top mid, finding a kill, falling back Cat, getting another, and then Masuda still losing out to Bit. A recoverable situation here from Navi as Bit doubles into that Cat setup, and all of a sudden, we have Navi alive and kicking.
Yeah, now they know there's actually one B. Everyone in a rotator spot. This would be an incredible mid-round to win. And it feels like they've done the hard part. One player left here on ZywOo, and he has 30 HP. They clear get right. He's obviously dead meat, and they do go for it. Instant headshot, of course.
A jump. Oh.
2 on 5 from Navi. Shout out to Bit for taking care of himself in mid. 2 on Cat, 1 in connector, and he walks up onto the steps and separates all those fights perfectly.
Does whatever he damn well wants.
Mollied Cat and then watched his molly.
And Magisk, has to just grab that AK and let this slip.
What a
Navi's 5th by way of 2v5.
What a beautiful round from Bit.
Oh, dupreeh was trying his damnedest. That was such a nice play.
Yeah.
Gets so quickly up Cat to come try and help out ZywOo, who is obviously calling that he's under pressure but doesn't really have anybody nearby. The top mid player had to come all the way reeling through Catwalk, and it looked good. It looked good, but Bit looks that much better.
Yeah. Honestly, you know, shocked at how kind of careful he was about watching his molly. You'd think that would be respected. But such a good read on this play. And look at this. I mean, yeah, so scared of connector, but immediately just handles everything. Oh, that was a bit of a freebie, man. Navi did not look good there. boomich had 2 players running up mid towards him. They did not have an advantage to kill him, but he was terrified. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, and with that shot, simple 11-1. Apex jumps down bottom middle, trying to maybe join dupreeh, but instead, I mean, he was about to get hit from underpass if it wasn't top mid.
Wow.
Bro, Apex kind of throwing himself into some sticky situations.
Yeah.
And I tried to highlight it coming into the game. Like, he's in a very compromised spot when it comes to mid. He's going to be a key piece to a lot of these rounds, and he's running through smoke. He's being found in the middle of the open.
He's just such a crazy, crazy man, isn't
He is who he is. And sometimes it works. Right now, it hurts. Navi, gonna find their way easily into this A site. Magisk has been found while this B apartments push nets vitality. Nothing. 6 in a row.
And Bit's frying, too. Wasn't really even stand out on Inferno. Oh, they're going to kill him in the exits, too? Can't even let him save? No, okay.
They'll try.
They'll at least survive here.
Navi with a ferocious start to Mirage.
The other day we saw 3 Mirage games in a row, and then Stown had the 1.99 rating versus Heroic. And then Simple came through in the next map and had like a 2.27 rating on Mirage right after him.
You think you're good?
Yeah.
Let me show you great.
Right now, Simple is 0.10 or more ahead of any other player at the event, with also the tied for the most maps played.
You don't sound surprised.
Good combo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy when that is just his average. Look at this shot, bro. Blows
So
him
sick.
away.
That's so sick.
ZywOo has no chance.
I mean, could he even really see him? Was it just timing? Like, that was disgusting.
I think I just watched ZywOo's soul evaporate.
It's made of water.
I don't know.
I think he would pick Squirtle as his starting Pokemon. I could see
ZywOo?
it. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think he's a Bulbasaur kind of guy.
A Bulbasaur?
Yeah, you can see that too, right?
Yeah, I guess I could see that because he lives on a farm.
He has chickens.
Yep,
He does indeed.
and probably some plants. 4-map win streak versus solid teams on Mirage for NAVI. 16-5 versus OG and Heroic on Mirage. 16-11 versus Heroic most recently. Last loss to G2 at Cato.
Somebody's got to send Simple the memo, dude. CZ, so outdated.
Dude, I just switched off the CZ. Maybe I should switch back.
Smoke to mid window.
I just switched to 1280 by 960 as well. The GOAT res.
Whoa. This guy. Oh. Oh, Apex. Okay, that's, you know what? That's a little, just a little sigh of relief.
All of France needed that kill right
Yes.
there. They needed it.
A lot of things have not been going Apex's way, so for that smoke spam to come through, hang on to the 5v4. That's how Vitality feel right now.
Is he
looking for their
walking into
first
this?
round
Apex
win.
walking through the middle of the site. Oh my god.
A double up from Perfecto. They're really putting the pressure onto the shoulders of ZywOo, and with that flash comes a Molotov. He's
No
going to be
smoke.
burned into the open, takes Electronic down, and jumps over to the garbage can. 35 seconds for Na'Vi to still get this bomb planted. If they can just lock in jungle, they'd be good, but dupreeh does still hold this line. Simple quickly punches in those digits. Masuda finds Perfecto, so it's a simple clutch. And a no-scope first. A second shot right there, and versus ZywOo, he goes over top. He holds, and he hopes. He falls back down. His 14th kill in 7 rounds. If he can just kill ZywOo. A battle of the
Oh!
and he does it every time! Oh my god. World class! An absolute phenom. He takes those shots with confidence.
Wow. What a way to go 7-0. And yeah, right, all right, okay.
How is that what happens next?
All of France needed that.
Apex. I'm so sick of this guy.
God damn. Was it two no scopes or one
Two
quick
no-scopes,
scope?
dude.
Yeah.
And you saw when he jumped on the triple box, he even, like when he had that one shot as ZywOo was on top of Ticket,
Yeah,
that was also an attempted no-scope.
did, yeah,
he
give
just
it a shot.
attempted 3 no-scopes
He did.
and landed 2 of them.
And still won the round. When's it going to get boring? You know?
Never.
When's it going to get boring?
Never.
That's what I want to know.
As long as Simple plays Counter-Strike, this game will never die. I mean, he just pushes what's possible. Apex looking for another scout kill.
He could do it.
Missed shot. Good damage on the follow-up. Great grenade as well. So this one looking winnable. Magisk, he's going to use the assists from ZywOo and Apex, but Boomich
Both
on
spotted.
the recovery. He's going to fall back into Apex's pistol. Fire at the feet of Electronic. And 100 health on Apex as he stands up. A 3K from Apex. Puts his team on his shoulders this. That was a solo scout buy that worked for Vitality. Not the way you'd expect them to break through this spree of Na'Vi victories.
Yeah, it's a really nice. I mean, such an insane shot from Apex as well to kick it off. But we'll say there's a few of these rounds, man, where Apex is the one who is allowing Na'Vi to get back into it, and he needs to be a bit more careful. I hate to like say, you know, Apex, here's how risky you can be because you kind of take the good with the bad with a player like him. Definitely, there's spots where I feel like it's like a clear mistake with the kind of aggression that he's partaking in. That last round, he was just like walking through the middle of the site with the A attack coming through, and I guess he didn't know it. But where was he going to end up exactly is the question. The B site is about to come under fire.
Well-timed nade at the least.
Yeah, that's solid. Oh, Masuda playing fence. He has no nades. He doesn't even have a smoke for himself here.
Bree gonna be able to help out. Oh, 2 kills for, no, excuse me, that's Masuda into the mix.
Oh.
He's the one with the double bit. Hits the headshot, jumps immediately outwards. Boomich holds off on the bomb plant. Thinks about instead dropping it for Cat, but Bit just sits inside that smoke. ZywOo, he's stuck inside of the market. Bit's gonna hear that movement. Oh, and another one. Bit is looking to add his name to the highlight reel, but he can't spray down Magisk. Boomich comes out, dropped to 23 health, gets the kill versus Magisk. Apex right there on top of him, an escape around the corner. Apex gives chase. Boomich looks to lock in the headshot, but it's Apex with the kill, the clutch, and a second for Vitality.
Yeah, he's just holding down. He's holding down the mouse 1, pressing on the pedal.
There's a piece of utility in that play that I'm a little curious
I actually
about.
don't know why they
In the
smoked
apartments,
inside
right?
the market. Yeah, because it smoked too high up, so I'm not exactly sure.
The
The only
only
thing it would cover is the
Boost.
bricks boost.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would only cover the bricks boost to the window. Yeah. So I guess there is that for sure. Maybe they thought it was a cat setup, and in that case, that would help.
Seems like a read. We have seen that boost at times.
Yeah, it can
sometimes
it can be annoying. Especially if the rotators come off mid, for example. In a mid setup, they'll bricks boost first, and then they can try to see into the window. So that could have been a counter. It would have been cool to see that come into play.
very niche.
It is all about small advantages. That situation could have got really ugly. I wonder why Masuda was out of nades completely in that spot. You know, usually only play fence if it's a really bad situation. Oh, almost never. Almost never.
All right, critical situation for Vitality. They pick up that second consecutive. Then immediately just apply the pressure to Palace in round 10. Electronic dead. Masuda takes over. Navi trying to figure out how to pull this off with just 3 Deegs and a Glock. Apex, a bit of a lifeline right now for Vitality, right? We come into this game praising Boomich for his performance on Inferno. Apex was looking a little squirrely in a couple of these rounds.
Oh, man.
But he did also get that scout impact followed by the 1vx clutch. Simple.
That's a M4 they can take back if they'd like.
Yeah, with the smoke they'll get it. Deagle thrown to Boomich, so that's everybody with something to work with for Navi.
They would have heard him running back, but do they know how many other Ts are in place right now?
Apex trying to make a move.
They've got the underpass walk up. Apex is going to take this hard angle. He immediately goes down to the M4 of dupreeh.
On 65 health, he walks up there.
Probably won't expect Magis to refresh their spot, but he misses a few bullets. Oh my god. Oh no.
Man advantage. Now Masuda, he could just still sit inside A site.
Yeah, they used the smoke. Oh, they took over
Boost.
window.
ZywOo's going to get blindsided. Simple instead doesn't get the kill. They're going to come running up connector. Masuda behind boxes.
Oh, he's missing everybody by accident. This
There's
is
the
so
jump.
close. No way.
Oh, he gets Simple over the back. Perfecto finds the bang. 10 seconds left. It's ZywOo versus Perfecto. Perfecto doesn't even have armor, so as he goes for this bomb plant, ZywOo ends it, and what could have been fizzles out, but
Jesus.
Navi makes Vitality sweat.
That's crazy. The amount of awkward moments there, the amount of timings, the amount of good kills too, I mean, from Navi, but they just, yeah, too many of those first attempts. Bullets missed. Very scary. And they get that third round, but it's so pricey.
Yeah, huge cost. And with that cost, I feel like Navi, they can smell the blood in the water.
Two push under right now, and Electronic, I think, is going to have it called, so let's see if he watches this properly.
He keeps thinking about looking away. Look at that, caught with nades. If only he had kept his head on a swivel. dupreeh comes back up from underpass.
Oh, what?
Another turn of affairs.
What?
Bit and Perfecto both low, but from 3v5 to 3v3, you know they're going to take this. And they still have somebody kind of locked into the apartments. Both teams aware of it. Masuda just wants to get away.
The thing is, Bit doesn't have the HP to chase down Masuda, and he's actually just going to try to evacuate over to the A site while they still have this lurk-in window. And we've talked about this before, but having ladder room control can still be very helpful towards an A split. Simple if he peeks off Cat into connector, for example, he can help them if any CT forgets. Oh, timing. Shadow. Oh, okay, Masuda wins that. His gun's swinging around. But this can also feel like the B split is coming. So Masuda's looking up in the halls. They're still tucked connector.
Saiwu just needs to land this one. Easy does it versus Perfecto. Bit in an unlikely situation as Apex comes over top of the stairs, grabs an AK for Vitality's 4th round win.
Yeah, close call. They almost make it work. I can't believe Bit wins that duel versus Underpass. That was just disgusting. He's in that zone right now. I mean, like, you know, all of last year it was like every game Bit was winning duels like that, but he's not been in super incredible form recently.
It's 4 in a row. It's recovery mode for Vitality.
Yeah.
They took their beating in the first 7. They've gotten up, dust themselves off. They've had to claw their way back into this. 17-5. Simple.
Damn. Another 4 rounds to go as well.
And then you've got to deal with the Navi CT half.
I feel like Zaiwu's been pretty careful, pretty reliable so far. He'll miss one, but he'll spot one.
It's information gained. Electronic already exiting ramp. Tucking into this spot. Smoke will go past him.
Oh.
Could be the Deagle.
Yeah.
Quick crack of the whip from Electronic, and
Man, if they throw one flash, he's already got a lead. I don't think they have any utility, though. Oh, yeah, they won't even be able to help him.
nades go
Oh,
past.
2 spotted, 1 CT, 1 under balcony. Electronic misses his first shot.
And everybody's already tagged. Look at this. Kill
Nicely
feed
done.
flooded full of Navi deaths. Tons of assists on that one as well, so just well timed for Vitality. The grenades land on the money. Perfecto playing dodgeball with frag grenades. Oh, Dupree
What?
just kills Magisk. Okay.
I think
Was he
it was when
falling?
he was falling.
It was when he was falling, right?
He literally just got
Yeah.
unlucky and a bullet hit Magic. The magic bullet.
No such thing as friendly fire.
Yeah.
Poor Magisk.
Wow.
But that bullet's got to go somewhere.
Yeah. No way. Ever since Magisk left Astralis, Dupree hates him, you know?
Oh, man.
It's kind of a $5,000 death. but-
Yeah, that's like, it's funny for, I think it's funny. They
It
don't.
is, yeah.
It's funny.
No, it is, you're right.
I'm just like, what did I do wrong? Wrong place, wrong time. Zaiwu, he's got a handful of Bit underneath him, but Apex helps out. That top mid contest goes very nicely for Vitality. This is the heads-up gun round, a big one for Vitality as they continue to try and get a lead at the end of this CT half. They're looking to one-up Navi with 8 rounds in a row. And this one is flawless.
Wow.
Not a single point of damage to Navi's name.
Hell yeah, that was a sick setup. You know, top mid control, they deal with underpass, and then everyone coming up A. Yeah, there's only one player on the site, but he's sitting under balcony, and they don't molly him. They don't molly him. They molly top balcony, and he stays alive. Rotation comes in.
Please, Zaiwu. Please save us.
Oh, is this the point of the major where Apex says we need you, or
Yeah.
we can't win, and then they win?
Yeah, he's going to try to do it. Back-to-back majors.
Get to top 8. Uh-oh.
Missed smoke.
Could be on purpose. Sometimes you miss a smoke to keep the CTs in window while you rush B.
That's what I say when I miss smokes.
Fallen actually did this a long time ago.
Apex going to take out Bit's legs. Shoots him in the knees. They're going to do it again. Look at this. This is the smoke we were talking about, if you guys didn't catch it. a few rounds prior. We say
Yeah.
it only blocks
We
off
could look
the bricks.
from Dupree's position, but yeah, it'll pretty much only block bricks.
If he plays ahead of it, it's not a problem. Masuda knows that one's gone by, but Dupree very quickly, very swiftly sweeps it away. Simple response. And ZywOo into position fast enough to just push all of this onto the shoulders of Boomich. He gets swarmed, and Vitality. What hell of a resurgence.
Sometimes, because of B-exec nades, sometimes they take a long time to land. Like, for example, the market window. So you kind of have excess smokes if you're going to hit the site. Sometimes you don't even need one. So you might throw the market window smoke to land after, but you still might get opt on your way in because you can't wait for that thing to land first. So that might be a reason they're just saying, okay, well, we have 300 extra bucks on this attack. Let's use it just for this one position to help us get out of the window.
Sure.
And if it's 1 or 2 spots they're in, I mean, that could be the difference between that and a plant.
They almost saw the man in underpass. Oh, but Magus comes away with 2 health and a kill.
Electronic's mad. That's his play.
Yeah, Perfecto's going to come get him. No reason for Magus to survive this. He has 2 HP, and he is locked in underpass. But you know what? Now he's actually got teammates trying to fight tooth and nail. There it is, the rescue mission to get Magisk.
Yeah, they supported it. I mean, they had the smoke in middle. They had a teammate in connector. VIP treatment for Magisk.
And suddenly, I'm impressed. Vitality, they're shooting for the 8 rounds in a row. Like, I thought this was going to be a domination. Now they go into Palace. Simple, lies in wait, changes position. You want some? Come get some. Apex on the closest of corners. Simple doing the dance of death. And this time, the no-scope is not there for him. Here comes ZywOo, locking it in from triple with a double op shot, making it a trio of kills on the top of connector as Vitality go from 0-7 to 8 rounds straight.
8 rounds straight. Look good doing it. A lot of mid control in there. Got to be feeling pretty good because it started out like another Mirage loss for them. Again, they're fighting back against an 0-6 loss streak on this map versus their best opponent so far. But then to come back 8 rounds at the end, it's NAVI who are going to be feeling bad now.
Sort of, you know, scratching their heads, like, what happened?
Yeah. It is kind of the...
All kicked off by Apex with the 3K scout round.
3K scout, and they never looked back.
He dumpstered Simple top mid, and
You
from
know-
that point forward, Vitality knew we can do this.
Yeah, and not just that, but he just didn't die in, like, these silly ways.
He did
for the rest of the half.
Yeah.
Because he was just kind of giving away strong positions a number of times.
If Apex could go back, I'm sure there's a few decisions in the first 7 rounds that he just decides not to make. But, you know,
No,
losing rounds isn't as bad as losing your character. Simple double Berettas. About to rock Vitality if they try to come out from Palace. Bit shaves Apex off of the underground.
You don't want to go there when you know there's a connector player in the first place, but now there's Simple too.
Oh, way too easy. 2 guns, 3 kills. Palace belongs to the king.
They were kind of waiting for that, weren't they? Hunted down underpass. Simple literally face turned towards Palace and nobody exposed to it.
And with that 3K, he is 22-9.
Damn. I'm going to look at his past Mirage performances alone. Let's just see.
The Woo can offer us nothing.
I swear, Simple is almost as good as Brokey these days.
Simple. Not going to be able to get any others. It's Boomich to end it, but a pistol comfortably in the back pocket of NAVI to restart the war machine that we saw take that 7 rounds straight. It's been a little while since they were able to win one. Pistol's the great equalizer. Now Vitality going to have to get through what is a 3 A1S buy from the side of NAVI.
Simple 4 maps ago got 65 kills on Mirage.
In what? How many OTs?
Okay, it was 37-34. Remember that AGO game?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm like, why are we not talking about that then? What is this?
In regulation. What?
What is this?
Electronic going 3 and 14?
No, this thing.
I just noticed that. Yikes. Oh, the cheerleader stack.
V-I-T-O-L-I-T-Y. Vitalité. Vitalité. Ah!
Yeah. How's it go?
V.
La
I. La 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 vitalité. That is burned into my head ever since we had a crazy little pack of Vitality fans swarm a hotel in Copenhagen.
You give Apex half an ounce and the chance start.
I don't know what that was.
That was
Cursive.
some kind of code.
Runes. And ruins for Vitality because, yeah, that's money. Perfecto ace.
I'll let that sizzle. Nicely done with the MP9. How much money was that? So much. 2,400, 2,700 with the pistol kill. No deaths.
Money.
Money.
That's a set of sevens on the slots. Jackpot. Navi to the lead.
Oh, 33 actually. 4 kills. Damn.
That's why I don't do math. The numbers go up and the numbers go down. Right now, the numbers lean the way of Navi on the scoreboard. A missed shot from Simple. Believe it or not.
Oh no, I had it right the first time. Sorry for taking time out of your day to correct myself.
You sure? Final answer?
Locking it in.
From Simple, looking for targets. He knows they're behind those boxes, just can't do anything about it. They'll throw a grenade all the way in. That's a quarter of ZywOo's health. A little dunk on Apex for 4. Trying to get this three-man core pushed up catwalk. Bit's about to have his hands full. Oh my god, and his head full as well, full of lead. Masuda, insta headshot. Perfecto can't get anything else, and this op of Simple is now dropping more than one shot, but he drops the bomb, and that could be huge. But he gets swept away by Dupree, and the B site belongs to Vitality. Fire on the feet of Magis, but he'll still commit to that plant, no problem.
Damn.
The T-side take their 9th. We are tied yet again.
That was really painful to watch. After one guy goes down on Cat, the way that they turn the corner so quickly. Okay, if Simple picks one off, Perfecto's probably a little bit more comfortable. If Simple gets 2, of course, that's a total release of pressure on the site. So those op shots draws just allowed Vitality to scale faster and faster. But credit to them for continuing to go forward as quick as they did. But Perfecto's spot ended up looking really, really bad. And then Simple just ran out of space within a few seconds. And, yeah, I mean, Vitality won. They don't have all the money in the world, but they might be able to kill Boomich. Maybe not. That's an interesting call.
There were chances, man. Simple had chances, and he had that back sight.
Yeah.
But a few dropped op shots. Vitality happy to swarm him.
Yeah, Perfecto's really relying on him there. Because he doesn't want to have to peek around the corner they're already at get, right? But he also has to deal with the hall split. So his position was just not good to be in, but he didn't have time to be somewhere else because his teammate just died at the corner of Cat. After the turn off on the bricks.
Simply too much to handle.
He was in a really good spot to catch a lurk out of halls.
Blade thinking hard.
Stares pensively. The stoic.
Time to recover, Navi. Boomich going to be the key piece, the kingpin of round 19. And they're going to try to set him up with Electronic. Magisk going to have to take both these players, but an insta headshot gives Electronic a gun. Oh, they could quickly just work their way up Cat if they really want to scramble here, but Boomich just got Dupree through the connector smoke.
Oh, yeah, they're already kind of stacked over towards the B site. Okay, ZywOo's in the window, and I think they they kind of half want to pause. There's a chance to kill Simple. Coming up the steps right now. He gets a shot off on Masuda, but it's through the floor. Doesn't do that much damage. 2-2 to sights. I'd still rather be Navi in this position, but at least Vitality have killed one of the lurkers. Now, this is one position where this spot in the site, you know, could be the one to win, especially if the time goes low enough. And look at Boomich.
He's getting to the right position.
Starting to mosey on over to the B site. This one from Bit. It's really not fun to play. But on low time, teams make mistakes. That AK crossing the window now.
Boomich still hasn't reloaded.
He's gotten to the doorway. Oh,
my
he
God.
goes down instantly.
Now all of a sudden they get out from the B apartments. Bit in position. He is stuck in this spot and not able to get anything else. Masuda turning this on its head. 3 kills for him. Great recovery. He kills Simple down in the underground. And then clears this B bomb site. Electronic with the retrieved AK. But he's 3 and 15. Oh, and Masuda is going to give us his 4th. To give Vitality that 10th. A damn nice try from Boomich.
Yeah.
So clean to kill Magis. The spray on the cat player through smoke.
Masuda has recovered his scoreline heavily. And on this T side was also the one to get that lightning fast entry, turning the corner on Cat as well. Saving Vitality in a couple of spots now.
Yep. Showing his value here. His Vitality pull back ahead, 10 rounds to 9. And Navi finding themselves on a full buy. We got Dupree trying to get around that cat smoke. Electronic within connector. He's not alone. No, Simple right there with him.
Yeah.
And shots in both directions. These CTs with bullets whizzing by them. Walking around the danger zone. Little gap for Electronic. He's looking to catch Apex and will do so wonderfully. Turns it around towards Palace and doesn't get that second just yet. ZywOo's scoped up now on that very same gap. So if Electronic comes in for second servings, he may be given his just desserts.
I was going to say, man, Electronic, he's a connector specialist, and he should be able to get a lot of easy kills, actually, because he's so smart about the way that he plays connector. But right now, he's not himself. Running really low on confidence. You just don't see him at these score lines, you know, 2 maps in 1 tournament. It's not been a good run from him so far. But there is a key frag. I mean, that shuts down all the pressure towards the A site. Look how much time it bleeds off the clock. We're crossing 40 seconds now.
Dupree's still just locked into ladder.
He just has such an enormous amount of responsibility. As we can see from the minimap, you know, Electronic, he is not going to have support if they come out of halls, into window, from ladder room, in connector as well. He just has to win his duels.
ZywOo post.
They're gonna try to catch him lurking here. Oh my God! What?
Boomich through the ticket, gets blasted away. Dupree falls out of ladder. Electronic will bring one down. That's Magis taken out of it. ZywOo, his 6th sense tingling, 6 seconds on the clock. Dupree's looking to strike this down. Oh, but the bomb plant, it's been denied. The bomb plant gets denied, and Navi will tie at 10.
Yeah, no time to actually pull that off. I mean, they didn't have significant control there. That's a bit of a flub from Vitality. Yes, there are some nice kills from Navi, but really, the only thing that they had to do on that round was Electronic kills 1 at the bottom of connector, and everything slows down. They literally hit the most ridiculous frag in the world just to get in the site. And then they missed they didn't have a ticket smoke, I'm assuming. I don't know what that ticket smoke was. That could have been from the CT side for a one-way, but, you know, that's not doing anything for the T side.
No.
Potentially got interrupted by a molly. Maybe that's the case. That would be actually sick.
Masuda and Dupree, the only AKs here for Vitality. Looking to recover this. If not, they're offering momentum to Navi. This is going to be a key round as we are in the final 10 of regulation. And Simple is just going to stay posted on this. He dares you to peek. Oh, he misses. And that's 2 AKs now getting into Tetris. Boomich is going to smoke himself off. He's surviving, but barely.
What?
And he gets the headshot to Masuda. He is just dodging danger. Still alive in this. He's got a player also just on the edge of smoke. Electronic and Simple come swinging outwards, and Boomich, he is just invincible. Magisk, the only player to do anything in this one for Vitality. Navi own this A site.
No way, man. Boomich, buy a lotto ticket. That is so ridiculous, dude. He had no play he could have made, and the smoke area was so small. That was the easiest spam ever. Bullets go outside of his head like a chalk outline on a dead body. But it shoots back.
I don't understand how not even one of those rounds hits him.
I don't know. And he just aimed straight.
Just shoot back.
Literally off audio. I mean, full credit for that. He lined that up well.
And the support system there for Boomich after as well, right? Electronic and Simple both just simultaneous swings.
Okay, they didn't take it for granted. But Vitality quickly organize on this B lean. Okay, deep molly comes through. They really don't have much to work with here. Are we even talking about a single flash?
Nope.
No one's got anything.
We got a Deagle and a P250.
It's hard to justify no flashes at all, but if they want to grab an op again, I guess dupreeh doesn't want to invest. This could just be a thinking round for Vitality as they creep towards the B site. You know, this looks like one where you just want to skip forward, but from Vitality's perspective, they want to get kills, any kills that they can get before inevitably losing. So they should take it seriously.
Perfecto's playing with nades. Gonna track Masuda as he jumps out the window first. First to exit, first to fall. And this test passed with flying colors. Apex will get one frag. That's the only thing Vitality are able to nab here in this one as Navi reestablish a lead.
Yeah, they at least take him out. I think a timeout is going to be called. Maybe they can talk about some stuff. Now, Vitality definitely still have odds in this game. We've seen some really good mid attacks as well. I think they're on level with what we're seeing from Navi. They clearly know how to come for the CT side. On the other side of things, Electronic still has a chance to redeem himself. He's at such an important spot here on CT where there's, even in this match, a ton of mid pressure. So he's going to see a lot of action. So you're almost always going to see rounds come down to his opening engagements.
And he is the last player that just kind of needs to get into the game, right? Everybody on Vitality's side offering something.
Yeah.
And for the moment, Simple has been picking up the slack that Electronic's score leaves to grab.
But he can't replace where he is on the map.
Exactly.
So that's what's really important. And we see the game plan is leaning into him as well. I mean, I would definitely look at the scoreboard and say, yeah, let's keep putting pressure on mid.
Time to turn it up. Simple will be boosted into ladder. We saw that reservoir of smoke grenades left in the Vitality T-spawn.
I think they're constantly going underpass to make sure that Simple hasn't, Electronic hasn't dropped out of the window in the beginning of the round. The boost will offer up no engagement here. And Apex is coming out from underpass. Yeah, Electronic again. We see his first pressure point. They walk out middle, and Electronic finds a creative way to approach that, actually.
Wow, Apex picks up the kill.
On bit.
I'm surprised.
Yeah. I think he's going to go try to cover his teammate. Well, this early portion of the round has been won from Vitality. That's all they'll have to think about.
Immediate rollback, grabs bomb. Looks like mid's still the intended target. Apex not going to be able to help ZywOo try to pinch down into connector, and then it's given up. Electronic decides to skate back into safety of jungle.
Yeah, can't do too much more.
He has no incendiary, no smoke, just that one flash for him to work with. Perfecto's utility on catwalk, a frag. So really just open lines of sight, which could still play into their hand if they're able to pinch it, but Perfecto goes all the way back into the B site. Apex, oh, he takes a chance. And Electronic's gonna take some spam damage. dupreeh's able to end him. Boomich takes his helm here inside of jungle. dupreeh locked into the corner, and the bomb given to what is 3 CTs stacked atop it. ZywOo looking to recover. 3 immediate kills back the other way, and Vitality stay within striking distance, trailing Navi by 1.
Wow, we were watching ZywOo, and what a shot, but Masuda, 2 instant headshots in that 2-on-3 situation. Those rotations looked like it was going to be too much to deal with. Look at that.
Bam, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Insane adjustment onto Simple. What a way to earn that. Damn. You know, one thing I'll say is, you know, even though he's having such a bad game. He's not playing like it. He's still playing confidently, which is really important. I mean, his job description doesn't change just because he's having an off day. No one's going to take his spot. And Navi are also keying into the fact that Vitality are leaning in his direction. So I think that's what we saw. A lot of these rotations, this late connector control and the hit towards the A site. They're calculating that. But it's aim that wins the rounds with Masuda and his 2 beautiful headshots.
It just looked like they had so much control, but crisp kills at the end of the day make a world of difference. Navi back under question here. They bottom out the banks. Looking for that quick mid clash, but Vitality posturing more so towards A out of the gate. See if Boomage can get away with another highway robbery.
Yeah, you see he dumps his whole kit because he's worried about this when they go for squeeze for mid control after seeing the smokes that they will hit A site, and now the CTs are starting to come back. And this is also the added value of taking over mid. You've got fast rotations to both sides.
Navi trying to get ahead of this.
Zywoo has been finding these jackknife op frags out of A ramp.
Unlikely that they get caught off guard.
Picked the wrong spot for Boomage.
High alert here from Navi. Zywoo walks out.
Could still get mollied on default, and they're worried about it. Yeah, it's coming now, and he used his smoke earlier, so he can't smoke himself out.
Oh, it's desperate, but he's found a little bit of a pocket, and he even dinks Zywoo down to 10. Smoke grenades come up in front of jungle. Bit offers some fire through. Electronic on stairs drops bomb. And this could be a world of hurt for Vitality. Masuda trying to fight for it. Gets the bomb back at least. 45 seconds. CT swarming. Here comes the push above Ticket. Perfecto resides in smoke. And now we get the mid-lurk. dupreeh, he's going to shoot Electronic in the back of the head. Sprays into the smoke. Perfecto, there's one. But Magisk with the double. And Bit goes down. Vitality tie at 12.
God damn, let's go, Magisk. Oh, Apex is out of the seat now. That's hype. What a way to win. Off the lurk from dupreeh. Tagging 1, but seeing 2 more. And that's all the info he needed to get dupreeh, his Danish brother, on the same page. Man, almost a sick hold there from Navi. Very fine margins. And we saw Perfecto actually used a creative piece of cover there for Electronic. Right-clicked a nade in front of the stairs as Electronic was sitting there fighting. Nearly got him out of that position. But then dupreeh came in for the counter. That was a hard one to read. I don't even think he started out mid on that default. Full A attack almost goes wrong. Look who's fragging.
Critical time to offer us a 3-piece. And again, you know, the bottom of Vitality's scoreboard, nearly as high as its top.
They're repeating the exact same rounds. Top mid smoke, window
Close
smoke.
pistol.
Yeah. Oh.
3 players though. Boomage never really had a chance in hell.
Yeah.
Felt good about the likelihood of maybe catching 1, but he falls into the snake pit of Vitality's A setup. Simple looking to make that Deek sing. Incendiary is destined for the site, and that's Electronic's head popped. Push out to triple. Perfecto killed towards mid, so the pitch is definitely on. Simple now taken down. Bit, he somehow gets 2 kills with just that 1 USP. Hey, you take what you can get, but Vitality, they'll take the lead.
Yes, they will. Yes, they will. They are so close to doing this, winning Mirage.
Breaking the curse.
Breaking the curse. 0-6. They would go 1-6 with this win, but more importantly than anything else, apart from a map streak, is just getting to map 3. They win. They qualify to the major. That's what's on the line. We've got a jovial Zywoo.
Job's not done just yet.
Squad that looks more like themselves, a hyped up Apex.
Light utility for Navi's 26th. Simple to the top of stairs. Smoke on Palace, ramp peeks his, sees the nades, blinded, finds Masuda. And Vitality are looking to just charge headstrong into this A site.
Whoa.
Simple! Wow. Finds dupreeh. Apex, he tries to prioritize plant, but Bit comes in with a crucial kill. And suddenly, Vitality left grasping at air. Oh, they try to stop the hemorrhaging. And a kill versus Simple could certainly help. You've got the X factor, the Z factor of ZywOo alive and kicking. And he just found a little bit of a timing.
Yeah, he's thinking. And Magis is clearing over top of the balk.
Oh,
ZywOo gets shot in the side. Oh my god.
Just
Man, this is brutal because, dude, the attack was just fine. Simple gets literally a kill, half flashed, over top of the stairs. That one was definitely skill, though. He saw a nade coming over. He was crouched, waiting for that opportunity and lined up a beautiful shot. The second one just threw the smoke on the cross. That's lucky. That's fortunate. And then Bit actually peeks over top of the stairs. Apex goes for the wrong plant. He doesn't think anyone else is, I guess, by connector or hoping they'll get some space. But, of course, that's going to be in full view off the corner of the stairs, no matter what smokes you have.
Whoa, Magis tries to get out.
Man, they actually have no money.
Faster than ever before.
2 AKs. Man, this is a big investment.
Yep. Bro, this could be 14 and 15 in the bag for Navi, but Boomich, he doesn't survive this time.
What in the hell?
Just tries to throw the smoke down, caught off guard by the tenacity of Vitality, electricity, as they come out of that A ramp and instantly disappear.
Jesus, it's a reset.
It's a recovery.
Can they keep up with the nades, though? We've got 2 full kits on Perfecto and Simple. So Vitality using what they have left, I mean, that is their last smoke at a minute 5. Could they afford to pull back off of that A attack is the question. They have to keep it extremely simple right now. And I think Navi know that they're broke. The best resource they have is the number of bodies on this attack.
An eventual A split, and we start to see the CTs peel back a little. Bit crosses the right side of window. ZywOo just takes his head clean off Electronic, staring at his shoes, gets at least 2, and now turns his attention back to the fight. It's flawless from Electronic. 3 kills as he stands up in a critical moment.
Damn, that's the mark of a great player right there. Such a terrible first half. Key position in the second half and plays it like he's been playing well the whole time.
You mentioned it, even when his score was still in the bottom, he wasn't playing well, but he was playing as if he was. Making the decisions he needs to dominate, and Navi have found 14, and the 15th should slide right through with it.
And Simple touches 30 off of that 1 kill as well.
He picked up the slack just long enough for Electronic to get his game underway. Vitality gonna need a miracle or overtime. Just when you thought they lift that curse, Mirage continues to be their burden.
We've seen this mid setup a number of times. Comes down to Simple hitting his first shot. If his teammate gets shot in the back.
Both players in mid, good to go. It's
Yeah.
a double from each of them. Simple, not gonna fall. Masuda tagged down to 4, and that is an easy sweep for Navi's 15th.
Wow, is it going to be another close loss for Vitality? That's the question. But again, they don't care about the fact that it's Mirage or that it's a loss streak. They're just trying to get to map 3. There's a major spot on the line, and Navi are as close as ever to getting it.
And a lot of eager teams looking to take a chunk out of Vitality if they do get sent down to the next round.
What will the call be for Vitality is the question. We haven't seen defaults, really. We've seen setups out of the spawn, whether it's fake mid control or some delayed A attacks, but clearly it seems like Vitality are calling all the way to the end of the round right out of spawn with some thought in mind. Will they want to follow frags? Do they want ladder room? Are they going to go back to B where they were successful on the entries? I think there is a lot of things to work through if you're Navi and figuring out what the best option for them is. And there is no better time to think about it than right now.
Crunch time.
Oh, and this is the play that Electronic didn't make all half.
Let's see if it's time.
He gets spotted. He has utility to use.
It's Apex's challenge. Oh, and it's Electronics kill.
Oh, that's that confidence right there. And it's a deep smoke. He can walk to the back of it.
A lot of players trying to chase him from the top of mid. Smoke soon to fade.
Man, if he faces this smoke, there's one coming towards him via underpass, but he's got support to escape out of connector. They won't let him go. ZywOo will go at the cost of his life.
Three kills back for Vitality off the top of mid. 2 cap players, and the underpass cleared. Man advantage established by Vitality. They caught them on the fallback. The cap players, they just wanted to punish that fight. They wanted to just end it then and there. And instead, a wounded ZywOo, Magisk, and Masuda will just pause and calmly try to piece this picture together. A B split looking likely. And because these CT players are currently in rotation, there is nothing to stop them in window. There is nothing to poke them from con.
They're actually hoping that it's going to be late B. They're gambling towards this side of the map. I don't think Boomich is going to peek into the window. He's just looking for lurkers, so the fight is going to come right towards Perfecto. He's going to hear this molly.
Narrow angle, gets that first one. That's an excellent start for Perfecto. Dives back into the cover. We've got 20 seconds and 2 kills either way. Boomich with the headshot, and Navi finds 16. They survive the test of Vitality and will be going to the Antwerp Major.
They've qualified 2-0. 0-7 on Mirage or Vitality. And they'll have to continue to fight. And just because it's these two juggernauts going head-to-head in this situation, and Vitality have another chance to qualify to the Major, it doesn't mean they will. This is a scary spot for Vitality, and to come so close is not going to feel good.
Man, the fact that they brought back that first half with 8 consecutive CT round wins, if they were just able to puncture through Navi's T side sooner, maybe, just maybe, we see this go the distance. A tough loss.
Oof.
A tough loss indeed for Vitality. Their future is 100% uncertain.
Yes.
And meanwhile, absolute respect to Navi. Sure, you lose to Heroic yesterday, but that is your only defeat here at the RMR. You go into this Major having a high seed, which means probability of a legend spot. All things considered, this team in their situation to still be able to compete at the highest level of Counter-Strike is nothing but impressive.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Solid stuff. So with that, Navi lock it in for Antwerp. We hand this one over to James Banks in the desk to unpack this awesome best of 3.
It certainly was an awesome best of 3 and a good fight from Vitality through and through. But the previous Major champions do make it back towards the Major. And Navi, they do stand strong in the end, but it's still not the cleanest of games coming out there.
I'm just going to say it's just not fair when you have to go up against Simple. Because I feel like Vitality really had a pretty solid game plan. Look, they were trailing 0-7 with Simple just going nuclear in the beginning. They were able to grind it back, make things competitive in that first half. Heading into the second half, I think on his T side, we had so many cool moments, some great timing being found. We saw some hero moments as well from ZywOo waking up, Dupree as well with some great finds. I mean, just look at some of the shots he's hitting, man. It's unreasonable. And at the very end, when it looks like we might be seeing Vitality running away with Mirage, Navi just step up. Individually, Electronics suddenly starts hitting some crazy shots, and Simple with over 30 kills, 2 KD, a casual MVP of the map.
Yeah, for me, I have to touch on what Launders was saying as well. Electronic, first half, I think like 8 frags maybe, something like that, even going into the second half. And then he's playing Connector on Mirage. We know this is a high fragging position, a key position on the map, a lot of activity. And then he gets that triple or quad, here it is, 13-13, breaks the money, and just brings Vitality's dreams to an end.
Dreams, they come to die in the realm of Navi, Banks. It's kind of sad.
Well, sad for Vitality for sure, you know.
At Maniac, maybe. Today.
Manny's not had a good day.
He's had good times, and today I'm assuming Maniac's just going to be going back to his Swiss citizenship. He'll be French the next day.
We have to just talking about Navi. This is the big storyline coming into the RMR and coming into the whole like revamped qualification system. Is that even the winner of the previous Major needs to qualify for the next one.
Yep.
And we got that. They're going through, and they're going to